1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yes, yes, yes. It's Boxing Talk with Raphie. Where are we? What we on? What we on? We on 97, 98? It's 98. Pretty damn sure it's 98. Hold on, what is this? What is this over here? What is that over there? Yes, yes. Damn, yes. That's a late. It's Boxing Talk with Raphie. Okay, sound check complete. In order. Let me do a little bit of shuffling. Let me shuffle this around so I know where everything is. Okay, you come over here. That tab over there. And, okay, I'm in the middle. And without further ado, because I know, here we go. Here we go again. Here we go again. I'm not going to mess around. I'm not going to no messing around. Oh, shizzle my nizzle. Shizzle my nizzle. Shizzle my nizzle. Yo, you know, I always make sure, Khalil, I always make sure that my entrance costume, my attire, does not impede my performance. I only wear performance wear. You know, I only wear performance wear. You know, I've been strengthening my jaw, and so you know, after such a performance, you have to make sure you're wearing breathable materials, and they have to be very, very light, because if you wear the wrong type of Power Rangers type of outfit, then that can severely impact upon one's performance, and we don't want that. That could be highly embarrassing. Okay, link link is in the chat. But before we get to the link, before we get to the link, where am I? Let me check my FaceTime. How am I looking? Yep. Okay, FaceTime is, let me get my angle. Now we're in the sweet spot. I just need a little bit of uplighting, perhaps. There we go. I look kind of presentable. I look semi-presentable. And yes, I see you, my good man. I'll be with you in a second. Let me get this intro underway. How's the jaw strengthening? Does my chin look chiseled after the jaw strengthening? Where is it? Does it look chiseled? Yeah. Okay. That's what I thought. And in comes the man. In comes man like John Deely. Haven't seen him in a while, but he's still around. John Deely, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks, Raphie.
Good. You sound a little bit muffled, just a little bit. You're not strengthening the jaw while you're doing the show.
No, I need to do a bit more work on that.
You're not strengthening.
To be honest, I think it's this costume we've got on. It's just a bit heavy, Raph.
Oh my! OMG! If I think most of my regular customers know, subscribers, know that they always see Raphie in the cottons. There's a reason, John, why I always wear cotton materials for the show. When it comes time to perform, you got to go with the cottons, John. It's breathable, and most importantly, it's lightweight. Because the last thing you want to do after you've done a show is try to get up out your chair and fall over, because the outfit was too heavy and it sapped all of the energy out of the quads, the hams, the glutes. The glutes are in pain. You know, that's the last thing in the world that one wants. That's why you always see the Raphie in performance cotton. That's what
I take the opposite view. I think you need to entertain the people. I think the people want the razzmatazz. They want to see that ring walk. They don't care about the performance in the ring, though, Raphie. You know, I'm prepared to leave it all.
You're prepared to take one for the team.
I'm just going to leave it all in the ring walk, Raphie.
Leave it all in the ring walk. Well, yeah, that's a fair point. That's a fair point. What I will consider doing then is next week, maybe even Wednesday, but certainly next week, I may consider wearing one of my bespoke Power Rangers outfits.
I think the people will appreciate it, Raphie.
Yeah. I mean, there's certainly American fans would appreciate it. If not the Brits.
They've been calling it culture.
He's had many compliments on the £40,000 grand, $40,000 Power Rangers.
How much it weighed?
No, £40,000. OMG. Okay, I know there's something I need to do before we get into this. Do I need to introduce anything? Yes. I can't assume that everybody who will listen to this is a friend of the show or has been here before. That would be bad to make those assumptions. It'd be bad to make those assumptions. So what I will do, as I normally try to do when I remember, is give a brief introduction to the show. Okay, so Monique Thompson, I see you. What we're looking at, what we're saying. Okay, so this is Boxing Talk with Raphie. 98. Is it 98? I don't think I've even given this a number. Have I even called it Boxing Talk with Raphie? No, it doesn't appear so, but at least the description is in the description box. This is Wilder. Should I call it Boxing Talk with Raphie? I think I should. I think I'll be a bit more comfortable. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that right now while we're talking. So this is WilderFury2 Aftershock. And if you bear with me a second, folks, mind you, we got John Dealey here. So if you bear with me a second, I can actually rectify. Hold on. Is this it? Is this it? This is it. Okay, I can actually rectify that in a matter of seconds while we're here. This is part of the Boxing Talk with Raphie series, and it should be 98. What the hell's that there? Have I not got more information than that? Do I not have more information than that? Okay, let me go. Okay, that's good. That's in order. Okay, so it's Boxing Talk with Raphie 98, and I'm going to put that in right now. Boxing BTWR. Boxing Talk with Raphie. I'm going to put that hashtag in there. Copy. Paste and 98. Boom. We're in good shape. It's Boxing Talk with Raphie. We're in good shape. We are in good shape. Okay, so that has been done. Let me just put the link in the chat again. And we're about to commence. Got to do these little things to make sure things are in order. Let's do that. Boom. Okay, link in the chat again. Okay, right now. So it's Boxing Talk with Raphie. We're going to be talking about WilderFury and the Aftershock. A new king. As one king falls, another one rises. And we're going to be talking about that and related matters. People overseas are doing their nut. They're going absolutely nuts. Going crazy. Utterly crazy. We're going to raise up the level so when we start the shizzle, it is perfection. Or as close to perfect as one can get. Yeah, the levels are low. I thought so. I sense that. And let's get the music down, overcompensated. Okay, let's get the balance right. M Depeche Mode. Get the balance right. One of my tunes from back in the Dizzy. Okay, so what we're going to do, first thing we're going to do is we are going to cancel that. Oh, dude. Cancel. Yeah, it's cool. Okay, first thing we're going to do is we're going to play a quick 3-minute warm-in video, and then that's going to be perfection. Where are we? Boom, boom, and boom. Is that what I'm looking for? Nope. Okay, we're there. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. And this is going to be slightly ironic because a lot of people are saying they feel a little bit, some people are saying they feel a little bit sorry for Wilder. We're going to be chopping that up in a second. They feel a little bit sorry for Wilder. And I must confess, I didn't on the day, but the day after, when I rewatched the damn thing and I saw the man floundering, I must confess, I did feel a tad sorry for him. But for anybody who falls into that category, I think this video I'm about to play you 3 minutes. It's a quick one. I think that video is going to perhaps recalibrate the brain. Don't take my word for it. Let's get into it straight away.
In the ring with the king. God may have mercy, but I won't. I'm not worried about that cow. The cow barely got his titles back. Yeah, I'm talking about stepping in the ring with the king. You know, so I ain't, he's been out of the picture. Ain't nobody talking about him no more, so they don't need to bring him up. Right here, right now, February 22nd, Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury. Other than that, nobody else is in existence at this point in time.
Okay, so those were the words of Deontay Wilder. That coward, he ain't in the picture. He barely won his titles back. He's not a factor. He's way in the distance. He is not in the picture. My. So, what do you have to do to get a fight with Deontay Wilder? What do you have to do? You have to be a domain Stavern. Domain Stavern 1, just win a title one time, you know, a vacant title. Fight Areola for a vacant title. Is that what you gotta do? Be a Stavern or maybe a Stavern 2? Don't fight for the better part of 2 years, or take one soft touch in 2 years and then get a rematch. Out of the blue, be a mandatory for 2 years. Don't fight nobody, ain't even in the top 20, much less top 10. Is that what you have to do to get a fight with Deontay Wilder? Or do you have to be on the couch for 2.5 years? Do you have to retire from the game for 2.5 years and be on the couch for 2.5 years? The crack house, the whore house, the kebab house, the beer house. Is that what you gotta do? Is that what it takes to get a fight with Deontay Wilder? Being the unified champion of the world isn't enough to get you a fight with Deontay Wilder? He says you're not even in the distance. What does it take to get a fight with Deontay Wilder? Do you have to be a Bermain Stavern 1? A Bermain Stavern 2? Or a Tyson Fury coming off the couch? What does it take to get a fight with Deontay Wilder if the unified champ isn't even in the picture? He's not even in the distance. He barely got his belts back. What does it take to get a fight with Deontay Wilder? It's Raphie Dawkins, the Combat Radio. Like, subscribe, comment, share. Follow me on Twitter.
What does it take to get a fight with Deontay Wilder? Post your answers in the comment section. I'm out.
What does it take to get a fight with Deontay Wilder? That was what we was dealing with, folks. Let's bring the beat back. That was what we were dealing with. Trying to deal with Deontay, the Bronze Bomber Wilder. Okay, so now we can officially start the show. Okay, where we at? Okay, links once again in the chat. John Dealey, what does it take to get a fight with Deontay? That was what we was dealing with. That was what the madness, the unreasonable nature of the man. That was what we was dealing with back then. What a difference a day makes.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that is disappointing about this is because of Deontay's behaviour. I don't think Tyson Fury is getting the focus on what he actually did.
Tell me more. I haven't really been. I've been so focused on pumping out the videos and shizzle. I haven't really seen it.
Well, I mean, there's a mixture. There's so much talk about the demise. Of Deontay Wilder, about how he can't come back from this, and how he shouldn't be taking the immediate rematch.
Right.
Although I'm starting to see things flash up on my tablet that the immediate rematch is going to get called. I'm not seeing anything official, just YouTube stuff flashing up.
I originally heard because I haven't watched the post-fight press conference yet, but I originally heard that Shelly Finkel or JD's had said in the post-fight press conference that they were taking they were going to activate the immediate rematch.
That's Finkel. Finkel. I haven't actually watched it. I've just heard the same thing, but it was Finkel. Well, we can come back to that later. What I really think everyone needs to recognise is that Tyson Fury beat Deontay Wilder on the front foot. I think I was one of the very few people that said that he could do that, and that he should do that.
Yes.
And when we were talking about whether it was a good or bad thing to go to the Crump, that's exactly what I said. He was going there to do, and Tyson's changed his game as much as Joshua did in the Ruiz rematch. Yes,
indeed.
And I'm giving him his credit here. I'm not a Tyson Fury fan, as I think people who've heard me on here before will know.
Yeah, well, same here.
But I'm going to give him his credit for making the adjustment and doing the right thing. I mean, he just deserves it. For doing it that way. So I think that's the really important thing. He's beat Deontay Wilder in his backyard with the deck stacked against him in a way that no one said he could.
Indeed.
So, Deontay Wilder's got to learn to not trash his opponents before the fight. He got knocked out by a pillow-fisted fighter that can't punch.
Damn. Tie trips.
What you saying?
Yeah, man. Tie trips. Introduce yourself to the people, Tie trips. Where you from?
I'm from West Coast, still Birmingham, still down in England. So still in the UK.
Oh, you're still in the UK, down in Birmingham.
Yeah.
Okay, another Brummie up in the building.
Not the Birmingham, Alabama. That bum's flipped. That bum was from that. None of that rubbish. Nah, my accent says it all.
Okay. So what's your opening statement? Tie trips. What's on your mind?
Well, after a good week of good sport, what's happening, but mainly obviously the fight and all that. Very pleased on how the actual outcome went. To be honest, I didn't even have it for Fury winning it. I had it for Wilder by knockout, you know, but I think it was after the third round, that was it. I was just like, you know what, this geezer has proved me right for, you know, Wilder's proved me right. This guy cannot, he's only just got the right hand. He never was truly in this fight, and to be honest, he's proven me right. This guy he's just a bum killer, and Fury just took his ass out, man.
OMG. OMG. Okay, let me get something up on the screen. This is how we remembered him. This is how we remembered him. I have not
Bum killer.
I haven't had the time to upgrade the shizzle, so but by the next show, let's say Wednesday, I'll actually we'll have some today. We'll have some stuff on the screen, some visuals of Deontay Wilder's demise. We're gonna have it up here, but remember, this is just part one. This is just part two. Part one was the warming. That was the first fight. Part two, that was something special. And as for part three, I've been a chief. I've been very vocal on the fact that I don't want to see part three. But Shizzle done change. I want to see part three. I've changed my mind. Don't know if I'm going to pay for it. I've already spent too much money on them two cats. Bought the damn ticket to go and see the fight. When I saw the undercard, I had to sell the damn ticket. Now I've shelled out £25 for one fight. Okay. But I've changed my position now. I want to see three. I want to see part three. I know that's controversial. A lot of people, they're saying, forget three. But we can't forget three. Part three has to happen. And I'll tell you why it's got to happen. It's why I was looking at this damn thing for so long. Okay. The reason part three has to happen. Let's get some FaceTime. The reason part three has to happen is that you have to give a man a chance of redemption if he wants it. If a man wants a chance of redemption, you got to give him that chance. I stream it for free. Yo, we can't promote them kind of things around here. Clark, you know that. But like I said, I've paid for two of them now. And the third time, okay, I'm staying stum, but you know what it is. If man wants
if it does,
say that again.
Yeah, I'm sorry. If it does go for a third fight, is it going to be taken over? Is it going to be over here or back in Vegas?
Well, Tyson Fury's talking about he don't want to fight in the UK now, Mao.
Wow.
Tyson Fury's talking about he don't want to fight in the UK now, Mao. What's that, John Daly?
It's definitely going to be in Vegas.
It's going to be.
It broke the gate record at the MGM, didn't it?
Yeah, they're saying he broke the gate record over there. I haven't had any articles. I've quick looked a few times and something popped up, but there's so much information floating around. I'm on Twitter. I'm on information's coming to me from Twitter, Facebook, all angles. It's a lot of information to take in right about now. But John Daly, part three.
Well, I agree with you for a number of reasons. I mean, I don't think it's in Wilder's best interest to take the third fight.
Mm-hmm.
But if he wants it, he's entitled to it. That's one of the reasons why I think it was all right to throw the towel in.
Yeah.
It's like, that's what the rematch clause is for. You throw the towel in and you fight another day.
Exactly.
But the thing is, I was speaking to Smoke yesterday, getting Smoke, and I'm still trying to get someone to explain to me what Wilder can do to beat Fury, because everyone wrote Joshua off after he got beat by Ruiz, but there was an obvious way that Anthony Joshua could win. The question was, could he do it?
Yeah.
Could he deal with the pressure? What's going to happen when he gets hit? It wasn't, what is he going to do? And if you look at what Wilder was doing on the back foot, he was moving his front foot first. He was getting his feet caught into each other, so which meant he couldn't throw any punches, and he was standing stationary to get hit. So he's got to learn basic footwork, and that isn't really going to be enough to beat Tyson Fury.
He's got to learn basic footwork at the age of 35.
He's got to learn basic footwork, how to throw a jab, and he's got to try and fight Fury on the back foot with a shorter reach. I don't know how. I've heard someone make a good point that the one thing Tyson Fury has struggled with in the past is actually a smaller fighter that moves. And Wilder has got some sort of speed. The problem is, because his footwork's so bad, he can't utilize it in any way. And I don't think whatever turnaround they're going to put the fight in, he's got enough time to learn this at his age. But if he wants it, he can have it.
Wilder is basic. His basic fundamentals are terrible. I mean, to say he's basic is unfair to basic boxers. I mean, he's less than basic in terms of his fundamentals. I think it was the second round. Where I just had to burst out laughing when I saw the way he moved his feet. First round, second, it was pitiful.
When you learn to box, the first thing you should learn is how to move forward and how to move backwards.
Yeah, it was
before you learn to throw a punch, and it's like no one's taught you.
It was absolutely pitiful. He's got Mark Breland in the corner. We're going to come to that later. Totally pitiful. Tie trips. It was totally pitiful.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, like saying, what Emmanuel was just saying, his footwork is absolutely it's terrible. I mean, what's he doing, Dancing with the Stars or what? I don't know, but literally, like I said, I've always said it already. I said it all the time. He's only just got the right fist only. That is it. How we was champion for 5 years, I don't know. But it says it all. That when you fight people like Stavern, Brazil, all these Wasteman and all that, it's just it's ridiculous. But his footwork has got to be one of the worst I've seen in heavyweight boxing for a long time.
It is dire. It is dire. It is shameful. It is absolutely shameful. I don't know when we're gonna start I may as well make an inroad into this topic now anyway. Okay, so we're going to have to talk about how, well, the question you just raised was, you don't know how he could have survived and been a champion for 5 years. And we're going to have to talk about that right now. Because just multitasking here, DWRS. Okay, we're going to have to talk about that now. How did Deontay Wilder become and stay champion for 5 years without even his basic fundamentals in order? Where are we? Let me put the link in the chat again. Where my Americans at? Where my Americans at? Link in the chat yet again. Joe, where are you? Comment, Tybo, JDs. Gonna have to get in that also. Okay, so Deontay Wilder became champion by defeating Bermane Stavern. Bermane Stavern became the WBC champion by picking up. It was Vitali's relinquished belt. Vitali's belt that became free when he retired. So that's not Vitali. Yeah, that's Vitali Klitschko. Okay, so Vitali Klitschko retired. The belt was vacant. WBC appointed Stavern to fight Areola for the belt. There's some low-hanging fruit right there. Okay, Stavern wins. Deontay Wilder gets the shot at the title, the younger, fresher guy, and he beats Stavern over 12 rounds. Okay. From there on, Deontay Wilder beats a string of cruiserweights, overmatched guys. It has been a catastrophe. Breland turned grey trying to teach the basics to Wilder. It has been a list of unremarkable cruiserweight after another. A few.
Don't forget the sports teachers. Right?
Sports teachers, Uber drivers. Well, that was before Uber. Taxi drivers. No, seriously, it has been. It's been pretty abysmal. And only, when was it, last year, 2 years ago, 18 months ago, 2 years ago, when Deontay Wilder first really stepped up against Luis Ortiz. And then you have to say, well, how much of a step up was that really? How much was a step up was fighting Luis Ortiz? Luis Ortiz, a guy who is unproven. How much of a step up is that? How much credit are we giving Deontay Wilder to fight someone who just simply hasn't proved himself, hasn't amounted to anything, really? What has he done? So really, when the history books, and we're looking in the rearview mirror now, although we've always said it over here, but now we come into a time where we have to look in the rearview mirror, and the world is looking in the rearview mirror and analyze. We'll have to analyze, what did Deontay Wilder really do? Because you have to remember, Deontay Wilder was in a position now where he's coming up to, what is this, his 11th title defense, and he was rivaling the likes of Muhammad Ali in terms of title defenses. He was rivaling the likes of legitimate heavyweights.
There was a slight difference with that. You know, Muhammad Ali was undisputed for 10 title defenses.
Damn. Okay. So yeah, I'll let you go. I'll go over to you in a second. Just setting the ball up, setting the table. So Deontay Wilder is coming up into a situation whereby he's on record, not in reality, but on paper. It looks as if he's rivaling some of the greats. It looks as if he's rivaling some of the your Muhammad Ali's. It looks as if he's rivaling your Lennox Lewis, your Frank Brunos, some of the heaviest hitters in the division. Frank Bruno, I think, is up there in 3rd or 4th place. Yeah, so it looks as if he's rivaling some of the most distinguished boxers in the history of the sport by being this champion who on paper is much more than he is in reality. John D. Lee.
Well, it's also the number of rematches he had in title defenses as well.
Preach on it. Speak on it.
So he fights Luis Ortiz. Then Luis Ortiz fights some really poor opposition. Where they have 2 fights. Gets older, fatter, like seriously fat. I don't care how good he looks in the ring. When they announced that fight, and it wasn't a long way out. It wasn't like 6 months before the fight. It was like 3 months before the fight. Luis Ortiz looked like he was ready to give birth. So when you're an older guy losing a lot of weight like that in a short space of time, it doesn't matter how good you look. The fact is, you're just not going to be ready to fight somebody. You're going to be weakened. And what did he do? He just sort of threw a couple of punches around until he got an opening when Luis Ortiz got tired.
Damn.
I mean, I think the biggest thing, though, is the fact that he has clearly been what's been holding up the undisputed fight, which is what everybody just wants to know, who is the best heavyweight. That's all anybody wants to know. And then when we know who the best heavyweight is, we want the best heavyweight to fight the number 1 contender. And if Tyson Fury has to rematch him, as long as he wins, I think we will get an undisputed fight. And whoever wins that undisputed fight, I think will fight their number 1 contenders. And then, you know, it's clear cut. Everybody's, whether they like the person who ends up being the best fighter or not, everybody can be satisfied that they know who it is. And that's what people really want. And that's what he's been in the way of.
100%. Deontay Wilder's been holding up the damn undisputed fight. I don't know if Tyson Fury is going to be any quicker to take the undisputed, but he can't be any slower, surely. He can't be any slower than that. Wilder activated his rematch clause. Who wins the 3rd? If Wilder wins the third, we'll get a fourth. What do you mean Wilder's activated the rematch clause? Are you sure about that?
There is a lot of talk about it, but the thing is, there won't be a rematch clause in the third fight, and Bob Arum knows how much money Eddie Hearn's already sort of lined up for the undisputed fight. And Bob will quite happily get involved with that type of money.
Yeah. So what are you saying about the rematch clause? What are you saying about the trilogy, the third fight?
Well, the contract's already drawn up, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So it's going to have to happen, isn't it?
Yeah.
If Deontay Wilder signs for it, it's going to have to happen.
What I'm saying, though, is if Andy Ruiz had beat Joshua, there wasn't going to be another rematch. There was no more rematch clauses.
No.
So there's not going to be a fourth fight.
That's the point you're making. Okay, yeah, I'm down with that. So Cristiano Wu, you said there's going to be a fourth fight if there's a third fight. Well, let's have a look at this. If Wilder wins the third, we'll get a fourth. You know what? He might be right, because if Wilder wins the third, he might opt for a fourth because he's won the third. But so my answer to that question is it depends on who wins the third. If Tyson Fury wins the third, then I don't think there's a fourth. But if Deontay Wilder wins the third, then yeah, I think he'd happily opt for a fourth. But let's be frank. Let's be frank about this. Even if Tyson Fury wins the third, there could be a fourth because for some strange reason, Ty trips. For some strange reason, Tyson Fury has said that he only wants to fight in Vegas now. From now on.
Well, yeah. Well, like you say, it comes down to the money at the end of the day. I mean, how much do you know how much he's made off this fight? How much money did he make off this fight?
Pure speculation. Pure speculation about the money right now.
But at the same time, if it's going to be like I say, if it's going to be in Vegas, I'm guaranteed it's going to be more money than from what the gate sale was on this one. So it'll definitely take the third. As for the fourth, for Deontay Wilder, both these last fights he's lost. He lost the first one, and he's lost the second one. But you know, does he really want to go back for a third? Does he really want to go back for a third? I mean, the guy got battered up and bruised, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, battered. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I mean, if you see him, I mean, his legs want all that. I mean, like I say, if he wants credibility and all that, yeah, he'll take the third fight. You know, I don't see any difference in it, whether it's in Vegas or whether it's in Old Trafford, even in Saudi, anywhere. You know what I mean? He's done. If I was personally Wilder, yeah, I would go back to the drawing board, go back to fighting Stavern, Brazil, or their mans or something like that. Build a bit of credibility, and then go for your fight and all that. Because technically, like you said earlier, he was holding up the heavyweight division, undisputed. Basically undisputed. Technically, all them fights in between that, he was just using Joshua's name, saying that, you know, they refused to come to the table, this blah blah blah, Eddie Hearn's this and all that. You know, I don't believe that for 1 minute. You know, so
you don't believe what? Sorry,
I don't believe what's called all them lies. What he said about Joshua didn't want to come to the table. He doesn't. He's ducking me and all this rubbish. Like I say, he's been using Joshua's name for the last 3 years now. Yeah, and about undisputed, still nothing. So. Me personally, I reckon that he'll sign up for this third fight, and who knows? He may, I'm not going to discredit the man fully. Yeah. But I can't see him winning it. And if I was him, I would just basically take the loss and rebuild and take your ass back to the gym and learn on some your footwork. OMG. Okay, so where am I? I'm over here.
I'll just answer that point about Wilder if he wins.
Yeah.
If Wilder wins, the Washington Charles Martin fight was a WBC eliminator. So I think he'll fight Charles Martin if he beats Tyson Fury. He'll never ever go near Tyson Fury ever again. Because no, it's a serious thing. I think it was like it was an eliminator for the second mandatory after Dillian.
Right. Okay.
So they might even try and make Dillian fight Charles Martin before he fights Deontay. I don't know.
Dillian White v. Charles Martin in America. If they
I think that'd be in the UK.
Take it. Oh yeah, but he should.
If they try and mandate it, they can let it go to purse bids, and I was not going to put money up for that.
Yeah, but if he gets if they do that, then I would say it would be wrong. But let's get past that. The WBC have been very wrong. So if they do that, I would suggest that Dillian White should take that fight in America. Make less money. Make less money. Maybe. But that then gets his name. Well, his name's already out there. People get to see him. Americans get to see him. He will make less money over there, but I think he takes care of Charles Martin, and that's his window. That's his what do you call it? That's his shop window for the American.
Yeah. He gets himself. He get his name out there.
Get his name out there. Get his name out there, and that's his shop window in America.
But I think what they'll do is, because it's a second mandatory eliminator, Charles Martin will be high enough up the rankings for there's no problem for it to be a voluntary defense for Deontay if he can somehow beat Tyson.
If he beats Tyson.
Yeah, if he beats Tyson, they've got an in-house PBC easy fight for him afterwards.
Yeah.
So it won't be a fourth fight.
Yeah. Message to the world. Deontay Wilder is not going to beat Tyson Fury. He's had 2 goes and he's failed both times, and each time has been worse than the time before. So this time was a wicked battering, beating. He got beat down bad. Wild Soul up in the building. Americans, come out wherever you are. Brooklyn child, where are you? Don ZB.
It's Don ZB.
You gotta say 3 times. You gotta say Don ZB 3 times in the Don ZB. Don ZB, where are you?
If Wilder was to beat Tyson Fury, you'd have to say it's the greatest comeback of all time.
Yeah.
And potentially you could then start to talk about him being a great fighter.
Yeah.
Because the odds against him doing it are so great.
The odds against him doing it are so great. I'm gonna get through some of these comments now, and then we're gonna go deeper into it. Where are we time-wise? Okay. So Wild Soul says Deontay Wilder will take the fight out of pride. Okay, there's been a lot of talk. About well, Joshua did it. Well, first of all, how ironic it is that the same man, Deontay Wilder, who relentlessly and remorselessly mocked or tried to mock Anthony Joshua for losing a fight, in his very next fight, goes and loses to Joshua. Loses to Tyson Fury in his very next fight. He was full of big talk. He was full of big chat. And then he was going to do this. He's going to do that. It's Black History Month over in America. He's going to make Tyson Fury a trivia question in Black History Month. And then he goes and makes himself a trivia question in Black History Month. Ty Trips.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah. What was the question again, mate? Sorry.
Tyson, Deontay Wilder said he was going to make Tyson Fury a trivia question in Black History Month. He has ended up making himself a trivia question in Black History Month. Is disgraced Black History Month over there in the USA.
Well, literally, you say anything just to sell the fight. You know what I mean? You're saying anything to sell the fight.
Yeah.
Technically, it was Fury that sold the fight. He brought all the fans across from over here in Britain over there. You know what I mean? He's the one that sold the fight. So when you go back to Black History Month and all that, and you know the things he's saying and all that, you know, he did it out of selling the fight. I didn't think he actually meant it also, but like I say, he'll say anything just to sell the fight. And look at him now. I mean, no press conference after. No report, no paper interview, nothing. I've not heard a word of this man, particularly on Black History Month after the fight.
He's gone quiet.
So it's gone quiet. He's done. You know, I would say he's done also, but it is what it is, man. Like I say, he'll say anything just to sell the fight. So, but yes.
So Wilder, Philip Carl Roberts, right? Wilder would have to become a mandatory to get the title shot. If he does not take the rematch, I can't see Joshua and Hearn giving him a shot after Wilder messed them about. I think they would. So that's the question then. Okay, let's look at that as a question. Would Anthony Joshua still and Matchroom, Eddie Hearn, DAZN, would they make the fight? Would they still make a fight with Anthony Joshua after he's got messed about? Like he did get messed about. I say yes, not immediately. Yeah. I say down the line if Deontay Wilder, not immediately because there's nothing to gain. He's just got messed up. So I don't think they take that immediately, but I think he gets a couple of wins and boom, he would get a fight. Of course, it's not going to be anything like the offer which he had previously received, but I think he gets a fight. Ty Trips.
Yeah, I believe he will. They'll give him an offer because obviously it'll still sell. You know what I mean? I'm guessing he's still Wilder's still in the top 10, top 10 heavyweights of the world. So as long as it'll sell, definitely. However, would he win?
Yeah,
I don't think so because I think Anthony Joshua's style, you know, he'll be able to throw that right fist of his, but Anthony Joshua's style will just basically he'll just go in on the body. And you know, I mean, wind him up, and we saw what his body was like on the on this weekend. As it is, one shot he goes to the ground. So you know, what I mean, the chicken legs didn't support him, and
the noodle legs didn't help.
Yeah, so like I say, that fight will come down into like future. I wouldn't say like now or next year or so, but
I think it
will happen.
Two wins from Deontay Wilder. He's still in the top 5, no doubt. 2 wins from Deontay Wilder, and I think they would get enough. That's just my opinion. John D. Lee.
Well, Joshua's already said he'd fight him anyway.
Oh.
He's already commanded it. The other interesting thing is Dillian says he still wants that work with him, and that's actually a route back to being WBC mandatory.
Yeah.
But Karanaki is quite high up in the IBF.
Yes.
They could actually maneuver him into an IBF Mando as well. So he has got roots back in if he doesn't take the immediate rematch.
Yeah, there's roots back in.
He's probably actually got a better chance of doing something that way, but I don't think it's got anything to do with what Deontay Wilder wants. Shelley Finkel is going to cash him out and take the rematch. OMG. Okay, after this, we're going to go to the next section, the next big topic. Going to get a few comments in. Joshua took his loss like a man. To be fair, he did. Deontay Wilder, we don't know how he's taking his loss because he didn't show up to the press conference. He could have showed up to the press conference because he didn't go to the hospital. I don't know if people have seen my last video. Go and check out all of my recent videos. I'm staying on top of this one. I'm covering it extensively, multiple videos by the day. Anyone who has not subscribed yet but is here, kindly hit the subscription button so you stay updated with news and notifications. Of course, hit the like button to all of the videos you like. And for sure, if you're on Twitter, go ahead and follow me on Twitter. Okay, so adverts out of the way. And don't forget the PayPal button if you enjoy the content and you want to make a small contribution to the channel, then it's a one-click thing. Hit that PayPal button, hit the PayPal link, which is in the description box,
and you can make a small donation from the comfort of your own home on your mobile phone. Boom. It's that easy. Okay. It's not mandatory, but it is easy. Okay. Confirmed. He's activating the rematch clause. Sub Skrilla. If you got a link, post up the link. What's that? Athletic box. You're talking to an individual. Okay, cool. So Joe says JD's and Mark Breland were involved in a what? Wow, a shoving match. Wow. Yo, I don't like the disrespect they're showing to Mark Breland. I really don't like the and we're going into the next topic now, really. I don't like the disrespect they're showing to Mark Breland about they're in a shoving match. But we're going to get into that. That's the next topic. Them throwing Mark Breland under the bus. I think I was the first person I know or saw to post a video of the Mark Breland thing. Mark Breland being thrown under the bus by JD's. And for sure, I'm definitely the first one to post a video on Shelly Finkel berating Mark Breland. That video went up either last night or today. I ain't seen any others. People are jumping on the bandwagon of late. But I was the first. Saw that when I was rewatching the fight. We can get into that in a second. I want to get through some of these comments first. Joshua got stopped, but not demoted like in the same way. I don't know what that means. Dylan McCallum. Wilder should take step aside money from Eddie fight White. Take step aside money from Eddie, fight White, let AJ and Fury fight for undisputed. The winner of Wilder White fights the winner of AJ Fury. Yeah, that would be great. But I think we see now. I think we've seen in that fight why Deontay Wilder has been so protected. He's being protected because he hasn't even got the basic fundamentals. Deontay Wilder has been a protected fighter for pretty much his whole damn career. And on Saturday night against Tyson Fury, we saw why. Once you step to him, Dillian White, step forward fighter. Anthony Joshua, step forward fighter. Once you step to Deontay Wilder, he's at 6s and 7s. He's all at sea. He's like taking the armbands off a kid who hasn't learned to swim yet. It's not fair. It ain't right. He's at 6s and 7s. It's a bad scene once you step to him. And that's what Tyson Fury did. That's what Dillian White does. That's what Anthony Joshua does. They go forward. And that's what the Klitschko's did. And we saw that Deontay Wilder didn't want nothing to do. I put it to you that if Tyson Fury was typically a come forward fighter rather than a defensive minded fighter predominantly, Deontay Wilder would have had no interest in him whatsoever. Okay, so let me scroll through this and John Dealey, what do you say about that?
Which one?
Dillian White is a step forward fighter.
Also, even more so because Dillian White has got a great left hook. Fury actually found him with the left hook quite a bit and did a lot of damage with it. Fury isn't really suited to fighting on the inside because he's so long.
Yeah.
So I think other fighters actually have more effective punching on the inside. I don't want to take anything away from Fury because he did everything right that he should have done.
Yeah.
But other people can do exactly the same thing and they might do it in more devastating fashion.
I agree.
AJ's got hooks, uppercuts. He's good in the clinch, as Klitschko found out. One of the master clinchers tried to do AJ once and he didn't try it again.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really see that. And everybody knows now.
Yeah.
Wilder can't throw his right hand if he's walking backwards. And he can't defend himself either.
And, Joshua and White, that is their bread and butter. Come forward fighters. They come forward fighters. How the hell is Deontay Wilder gonna cope? Couldn't cope with Fury, who was primarily a defensive fighter. Switched it up, went to Crunk, and fought off the front foot. And from the start, Deontay Wilder was like, what the hell is going on? Deontay Wilder said to himself, what the hell is going on? Ty Trips.
Yeah, well, like you say, a coming fighter for him as well. I think he's, I wouldn't say his height put him off as well, Fury's height, but from the back foot, obviously, going forward, it was just, like I say, coming forward fighters. I mean, if you think about, how do I say this? If you go about the guy who fought, and I think it was Arthur Spilker, was it?
Yeah.
He came forward, and remember, he just gave him one bomb, and that was it. He was out cold. He was gone. So coming forward, me personally, it depends on the actual opponent as well. You see, because like you say, Joshua goes for the like the hooks and all that, the uppercuts, as well as Dillian White's got that wicked left hand, didn't he?
Yeah.
So for Deontay Wilder, so some of it can play in his hands, some of it can't. Fury's more of a technical boxer, you know what I mean? Yeah. And it comes down to that, really. I mean, it really is a tough one to say, because like I said, there's been like even Brazil came forward, bam, and we saw that happen. So, it is what it is. So, like I say, personally, Wilder, to me, Wilder. The fact is that Wilder's a good fighter, not a good boxer. I'm sorry. That's how I say it. That's how I see it.
Okay. So where am I? Wilder Fury 2 should happen immediately. 3. Wilder Fury 3 should happen immediately, regardless of what you think of who ducked who. AJ can't seem to make a fight with Wilder or Fury with his career high offers. Why do you think that is? Cristiano Wu, why do you think Joshua's making guys career high offers and they're not accepting it? What does it mean when a guy who's a champion, unified champion, is offering other guys, top ranked guys, the opportunity to make career high money, and they keep turning it down? What does that say to you, Cristiano Wu? What does that say to you? I think it's pretty obvious. It's obvious to the logical mind. Wilder takes step aside money from Ed. Thumbs up, gang. Yes. Georgie Porgy up in the building. Mark Breland. Is that what you're talking about? Saved his life. JD's is a terrible trainer. Is he a trainer? Is JD's a trainer? I heard he was a Taibo guy. I heard he was a Taibo hole. Mark Breland needs to move on from Finkel and Dees. If it's true that they're going to a shoving match with Dees, then that's the next topic anyway. But that's big disrespect. Big disrespect. And I didn't like the way I saw Finkel talking to him either. Got a little video clip of that. Didn't like the way I saw Finkel talking to him when he came up on the ring apron. Let me see what's going on here. What's going on? Is Wilder now recognized the number 3 heavyweight? Number 3 after, well, I guess you would have to, well, the 3rd is the highest, maybe the 4th. Because he got stopped, didn't he? He got stopped.
Well, on BoxRec, on BoxRec, he's ranked number 5 now.
Number 5, OMG. My Americans, where are you? OMG. I want in the hold on. What's that? Where's Phil Walker? Where's Phil Walker? Phil Walker's normally here by this time. Phil Walker, where are you? Don Zeeby, where are you? Brooklyn child, where are you? I'd even take the poison corgi, BFTB. I'd even take him at this point. Come on in.
He's on suicide watch.
Well, I heard.
I don't think he's going to be around for a while.
Suicide watch. I heard it said that BFTB promised that he would close down his channel if Deontay Wilder lost.
I seen his channel earlier. Actually, he did a video about 4-6 hours ago or something like that.
4-6.
Carry on.
Yeah, and he was going ballistic. When I mean he's going ballistic, his mans were calling up onto his channel, and then putting the phone down and effing and being and all of this rubbish and all that. Damn. You know, he was absolutely going ballistic.
Wow.
He was, you know what I mean? He was saying that, Deontay Wilder's comeback's going to be more greater than AJ's. You know what I mean? He had to bring the Anthony Joshua's name back into it. But literally, he is not happy at all, man. He was not happy.
OMG. Philip Carl Roberts says, well, first of all, Dylan McCallum says, White damages Wilder bad. Cuts him in half. Bad. To the head, to the body, to the head, to the body. Probably all kick off his little noodle legs. I do a little kickboxing kick on his noodle legs. Sprinter them. You just see noodles everywhere all over the ring. Somebody have to come and sweep them up. Philip Carl Roberts protected one trick pony. Finkel said he was a baby champion when Klitschko was champion and he needed a couple of fights. It actually took 8 fights for him to step up his opponent level. Okay, right. So, Sub Skrilla in the building. I got to step away from the mic for a second. Sub Skrilla, come in. Talk your talk. What you saying, Sub Skrilla?
Just a quick test here. I'm driving at the minute. I'm in the car, so if my audio is good, I'll carry on. If not, then I'll drop in when I get back in.
Yeah, carry on.
I'm good, yeah?
Yeah, it's manageable, yeah.
Where are you at the minute? Because I've just jumped in and out because I was at work. So what are you on at the minute? Just because I don't want to put over before it got over.
Just talk your talk, man. Talk what's on your mind.
Yeah, just still kind of in shock, really. Like, I was feeling quite confident in Tyson, but obviously when you watch it unfold, it feels a bit like you've dreamt it. Do you know what I mean? Not quite sunk in yet. But yeah, I was really, really impressed with the performance. Like, literally from the opening bell, he ran. Do you know what I mean? He ran at him.
Keep going.
Subscriller.
Keep going.
Subscriller. Is he still there?
He's probably dropped off, John. Carry on.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, my mum was driving still.
Yeah, no, it's fine. So, I mean, this where we're up to. It's the Mark Breland stuff that's getting me upset. I don't know what. Jay Diaz is supposed to be the head trainer, so he's responsible for his car crash. Mark Breland's like Olympic gold medalist, world champion. He's the good boxer, and it seems like they just ignore Mark. That's why Deontay Wilder can't box. Because I don't know how good a trainer Mark Breland is, but he knows the fundamentals of boxing. He's a complete example of the Kronk style, which Deontay Wilder physically is ideal to replicate. But you got this muppet, Jay Diaz, in charge of everything. And then they're scapegoating Mark Breland for throwing in the towel. The one man who actually cared about what's going to happen to Deontay. And actually, he's probably got a better chance of winning any sort of rematch if they pull him out now, rather than let him just keep taking more and more damage, because he wasn't going to win.
Yeah.
True. I mean, if he carried on, I mean, if he didn't throw the towel, how would you predict that fight was going to end?
Oh, very, very, very badly, catastrophically. He was going to end up on his back, swallowing his own blood, bleeding out of his ears. He's going to end up in a real bad way. And I think we're going to have to segue at this point. We're going to have to segue at this point into, let me clear that off. Let me clear that off. And let's go into some, let's go into the story of, oh yeah, okay, we're good now. Let's go into the story of Mark Breland and Jay Diaz and Shelly Finkel. Let me share my screen. Okay, let's get this done. Let's get this done. Boom. Where is it? Boom. There it is. Okay. So, yeah. So, okay. Let me be very gentle with this. Got to be careful. I've got to be super careful. There it is. There it is. There it is. Okay. Are you seeing that yet? No, probably not. Probably not. Are you seeing it, John?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, good. Okay, good. So, yeah, this is the, went a bit longer than I expected. So this is the finishing stanza. I'm just gonna have to take this frame by frame so I don't incur any copyright issues. And really, we're not really, it's not that I'm looking at the end of the fight really, but we're just showing this to get to where I want to get to, which is to the Jay Diaz situation. In fact, let me extend this as much as possible. Okay. Okay, so we're just seeing the battering. And let me, how do I do this? Can you see this yeah, you should be able to see this. So down here, that is Mauricio Suleiman, WBC champion, WBC El Presidente, right here, Mauricio Suleiman. Don't know if you can see that there. Okay, so he's there, he's ringside, he's watching this very carefully. He's another player in this situation. I think Tyson Fury just gave him a right to the body there. Boom. I shouldn't laugh. I'm not gonna laugh. Okay, so I'm only doing this frame by frame to avoid copyright issues. There you see Deontay Wilder, dazed and confused, right down here by Tyson Fury's right thigh. We have Mauricio Suleiman, who has just seen the guy he has been instrumental in protecting for 5 years. He's just seen that guy lose over here. We got a guy waving. The towel's been thrown in. You know, I don't think the ref, I never saw the ref looking behind him to see the towel thrown in. I think they used that as an excuse afterwards. It was just convenient, but he just stopped it because it was right to stop it. I'll give him credit for that. I don't think he saw the towel thrown in because I've looked at the people in the audience. The towel came in from the right side. I don't think he could have seen it thrown in. Or maybe peripheral vision.
But Raphie,
yeah,
look at that's Shelly Finkel there, isn't it? The glasses on. Who's that with the glasses on?
No, that's not Finkel. This is some official. This is an official.
Isn't he pointing? He's pointing at the towel.
He's waving.
And shouting at Kenny Bayless saying they're throwing the towel in.
He may have shouted that. Okay, yeah. So on an audio level, they may have heard it, but I can't see how Bayless would have seen it. But this guy was waving and trying to alert to the fact that the towel's been thrown in. But you're right. He may have shouted it. But I don't think Bayless saw the towel. No way, Bayless. I don't think he saw the towel. The towel came in kind of from his right. He could have caught it in the periphery. But anyway, you got the official down here who was waving and trying to alert his attention to the fact the towel had been thrown in. Yes. But did Kenny Bayless see? I don't know. Okay. I don't even think Tyson Fury seen it because, well, Tyson wouldn't have seen it. He had his back to the towel. Okay. He still doesn't know. Tyson still doesn't know. Still doesn't know it's over. He knows now. He knows now. He knows what's up now. Okay, I'm just trying to go to this. frame by frame. You got three guys over here pointing to the fact that the towel's in, pointing to where the towel is, just playing this frame by frame so we don't get any copyright issues. Okay, and we're gonna end up with Tyson Fury walking back over to his corner. And at that point, that's when the action starts, because that's when Deontay Wilder starts to remonstrate with Mark Breland. Okay, and Tyson Fury there doing his crazy stuff, plants a kiss on Javon Sugar Hill. I think he might have got some lip action there, which has Tyson Fury covered in Deontay Wilder's blood from his ear. Okay, we're just kind of inching towards it, maybe. I'm going to have to come out of this a little bit, so I'm just trying to get to where I'm trying to get to, or maybe I'll just keep this going for prosperity. When people are watching the replay, probably there's some people who probably still haven't seen it, not tech savvy. There we are. We're good now. Deontay Wilder in great physical shape, but no fundamentals. Well, was he in great shape when he couldn't go till, he's already gassing out? So looking good and actually being in boxing shape are two entirely different things. There's Mark Breland. This is what we're working up to, Mark Breland now. We're going to see Deontay Wilder remonstrating with Mark Breland. Okay, Mark Breland's talking to him. Okay, Deontay Wilder about to do his nut, screaming, "Why'd you stop it? Why'd you stop it?" Mark Breland's telling him about his ear. Deontay Wilder is extremely aggrieved, but holding onto the ropes to steady himself. He's aggrieved, very aggrieved. Mark Breland trying to explain to him. It's your ear. It's your ear. Trips. Thai trips. What do you think about this situation with Mark Breland, Deontay Wilder, JD's, and Shelly Finkel? Towelgate. I call it Towelgate.
Wow. One of the rounds where when he was in the corner. Yeah. Basically, when he was sitting down, he had his head on I think it was JD's. That's the one, yeah. He had his head on like his forehead literally laying on him like he was like gassed out of breath or so.
That was the end of the sixth round.
Exactly, yeah. So I don't understand why, fair enough, all boxers, they've got pride in them and all that, want to finish the fight off, whether it's on the back or basically at the end of 12 rounds. But yeah. I don't understand why is he having a go, and let alone that little man that Shelly Finkel, whatever his name is, he's
Paul.
basically
We call him Paul.
Yeah.
You seen the film? Paul, the alien?
yeah. Paul, oh god, that's a good one. I like that one. so yeah, I don't understand basically why Shelly Finkel's going to say, going up to the corner and having a go at his trainer, because didn't he do this in the last fight as well? The first fight, what they did, and he went straight into the corner. I think it was before the 12th round, and was laying into Wilder and his trainer and all that as well. So I think it's a bit of a disgrace, because Paul Finkel, whatever his name is, not in the.
That's his new name.
Paul Finkel. He's not in the gym.
Here he is, Paul. Paul enters the fray right here, and immediately starts to berate Mark Breland.
Nah, he shouldn't, man. That's just wrong, man. I think that's just wrong. And like I say, man, every trainer has got a responsibility to get the fighter out the ring safely, no matter how much bashed up they are. Mm-hmm. So I think that's a bit of a disgrace from the promoter or his manager, whoever he is.
Yeah,
manager. But that's it. Yeah, I find that absolutely wrong. I do. So I'm happy that basically he lost, but I do feel for the trainer on this occasion.
Mm-hmm. John D. Lee.
Well, yeah, I mean, we don't need brave corners, do we? Brave fighters, yes. We don't need brave corners.
No.
And Mark Breland, he's how many people did Mark Breland knock out? He was like a knockout artist. He can see when someone's ready to go.
Yeah, 100.
Yeah, like this seems to be what the whole problem with Wilder's setup is. You've got the guy that turned down $120 million having a go at the man that's interested in looking after Deontay Wilder's health after they've just sacked the man who tried to get Deontay Wilder to $120 million. Why is it, Shelley Finkel clearly treats Deontay Wilder in the way that Deontay Wilder accused Eddie Hearn of treating Anthony Joshua.
Well, which plantation would you rather be on?
I'll let you get involved with those type of comments. I'm scared. I'm staying well away from all of that.
No, it's a fair question. I think which plantation would you rather be on? I mean, for people in general, which plantation would you rather be on?
Let's put it a little bit differently, right? Let's put it a little bit differently.
Yeah.
This was Deontay Wilder's biggest payday, wasn't it? Whatever it is.
Yeah.
Now, what they're claiming it is his purse combined with Fury, even the wildest claims still aren't as much as Joshua just got paid for fighting Ruiz. So who's being looked after?
Well, combined. I mean, what he?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Combined.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. So
if you put the two purses together,
yeah,
they're talking about it being like maybe 2/3 of what Joshua got paid in his last fight. So who's looking after who? Shelley Finkel's taking away $120 million from you, and Eddie Hearn's getting you 85.
Say that again.
Shelley Finkel is taking away $120 million contracts from you.
Yeah.
And Eddie Hearn is providing $85 million contracts. So who's treating who well?
He's providing 120 for Wilder.
No, but I mean, if you're looking at who's looking after their fighter.
Yeah. Oh, I get you. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Yeah. So there's Paul Finkel remonstrating with Olympic gold medalist, two-time world champion Mark Breland, who's trying to teach Deontay Wilder something. And I saw in the replay, well, not the replay, I saw later on in the fight, I'm not going to risk any copyright issues by scrolling along too much. But earlier on, I think at the end of the sixth round, beginning of the seventh. Yeah. It's just before this happened. So that would have been the end of the sixth round. That's right. End of the sixth round. You see JD's, he's sitting on this side of the corner here. And you got Mark Breland on this side of the corner. And JD's has just got his chin on his hand on his jaw, whatever, and sitting there, and Mark Breland's looking concerned, and then we cut back to them later, and Mark Breland's standing up talking to an official. Now, JD's makes an allegation that he had spoken to Breland just prior to that, the beginning of the sixth round, I think, and already Breland was talking about throwing in the towel. Now, JD alleges that he told Mark Breland, don't do it. But it's on video when Mark Breland stands up during the seventh and he's got the towel in his hand and he's talking to an official clearly about to throw in the towel. JD's is sitting down, not interacting, not playing any role in that whatsoever. You can see what's about to happen, but he's just sitting there. There's the old saying, Nero fiddled while Rome burnt. JD's was just sitting down like I can't even say an observer, because he was just sitting there. He was just sitting there, kind of like a political move, just not doing anything. And now he wants to come out and say blame Mark Breland. Then you got Paul Finkel here blaming Mark Breland for saving their fighter, for saving their meal ticket, for saving their investment to fight another day. Paul Finkel's probably thinking, you just cost us 10%. Do you realize that in the third fight, right now it's 50-50? Yes, that's good. But in the third fight, the loser only gets 40%. The other guy gets 60%. Do you realize you've just cost us 10%? And that's how it looks like to me. That's how it looks like to me. And that ain't good. I think I heard a pop earlier on. Let me escape and see what's going on. Let me see. Let me stop sharing this and go back into the window. James is in the building. James is currently muted.
Yeah, hello.
How you doing, James?
Very good, very good.
Yeah. Talk to me, James. Talk to me.
It's an awful day. I think the real heavyweight champ has finally lost, and it's a sad day for boxing. That's brilliant. I love it. I called it, didn't I, Raphie? No, I said knockout. I called it.
Yep. James called it. John Dealey called it. I called it way back when, and then I thought, nah, Raph, you're being crazy. Don't be silly. You're being crazy. Wilder's gonna knock him out. So that's what I expressed until the last week. I think the last two shows, I've been saying, you know what? Fury's gonna knock out Wilder. He's gonna knock him out. And then when the weigh-in came around and Fury was heavy, it just confirmed my thoughts. It just confirmed my thoughts and my suspicions that Wilder was going to get knocked out. AD writes, he looked like a cross between Transformer and Shredder from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in that costume that lost him the fight. Hilarious indeed. So James, Shelly Finkel, Paul, we call him Paul, and JD's, they're going in on Mark Breland.
Yeah. So poor old ET, he's having a go, isn't he? That's what he more reminds me of, a bit of ET.
Have you never seen the film? Have you never seen the film, Paul?
Yeah, with
the alien,
the two from that zombie film back in the day. What they call
them two guys, the English guys, and the American girl with the funny eye. So what's your take on that?
It was definitely premature.
Going in on the guy who threw the towel in.
I think it was a joke, to be honest. You know, obviously the head trainer, he didn't throw the towel in.
Yeah,
because I don't think it should have been stopped, to be honest. You know, especially with how much money's on the line, the heavyweight championship of the world. I don't think you throw the towel in.
Oh, that's interesting. Tell me more about that.
See, if the guy's standing, like Wilder was, if he's down, I understand it. If he's down, he looks whatever. But if he's up on his feet and there's a lot on the line, like I say, there's 60-40.
Yeah.
There's the heavyweight championship of the world, Ring Magazine. There's all these different things, you know, especially nowadays. You know, a loss is it's ridiculous, isn't it? You take a loss on your record, your stock plummets by 50%, and you can only gain back 40. Jesus
Christ! I hate to blaspheme, but is this true? Wild Soul is reporting they've just fired Mark. Okay, I'm gonna have to get on that myself. Gonna have to get on that and get the link up myself. Damn, I got too many windows. Got too many windows open. This could be a dangerous endeavor. I cannot risk opening another window, so I got to close down a window. John Daly, you wanna touch on something while I'm looking to close down a window?
Well, James, did you enjoy the fight?
I did and I didn't, because I was expecting all this big fight, and it was so one-sided. It was at the same time it was a bit of a letdown.
Okay.
There's only so much of a beating you can watch, innit? And then it just gets same old, same old. You know, you want the other guy to at least say a bit of show, a bit of something, not just. It's like when you watch the school fight, you know, and you got some guy who's big and massive picking on the small guy, and then when he starts wailing at him, and you think, oh no, we gotta stop this. It's not funny anymore.
Oh, shizzle my nizzle, mate. Shizzle my nizzle. The access denied. What the hell are you talking about? Reload.
The Mirror have got an article out on it already.
Oh Lord.
41 minutes ago.
Oh Lord.
I've just been checking seeing what else is in there.
This is
the whole problem. It's like Mark Breland was a 6'2" welterweight champion, world champion with 6 knockout world title defenses.
Yeah,
and he sparred Tommy Holmes, and he was trained by the Kronk Gym. If someone could teach Wilder the style that is best suited to use, it's Breland. But it would seem they've been listening to J. Diaz all this time.
Yeah, it seemed like they've been
just like some sort of comedy fool.
Oh, OMG. Mark Breland, I'm typing that in now. I've managed to close down a window. Mark Breland. BRELAND.
If they think the stoppage was early, though, you just got to stick to it and fire him, though. I think that's where it is. Not like he's teaching.
There's a much easier way out of this. You can just say, Mark's job is to protect the fighter. Maybe he was a bit overcautious, but we've got the rematch clause, so Deontay's going to be in better shape to beat Tyson in the next one. Straightforward. Definitely. Instead, J. Diaz has come out and said, well, the reason Wilder's not won the fight is because the costume he wore was a bit too heavy, so he was exhausted by the time he got into the ring. J. Diaz has actually come out and said that publicly. If you're going to come up with anything, you've got to say, oh, he had a perforated eardrum.
Wilder said it. Wilder said, just as he lost, he got interviewed, and he said there were lots of reasons. Somewhere along the lines, there was lots of reasons, and he said some excuse, and then he said, "Well, I'm not going to talk about it." Like just after he lost,
if you're in his team, it doesn't matter what Wilder said. You can say, "Oh, he's concussed. He doesn't know what he's talking about." You don't then run with, "Oh yeah, the costume he had on was too heavy." A bit better than that. You could say, oh, he's been carrying a really bad shoulder injury in his right shoulder. He couldn't throw the right hand.
He had a crack in his ass.
Yeah, a crack in his ass. You can come up with something a bit better than the costume he wore was too heavy. That's the only reason we couldn't beat Tyson today.
That is complete and utter madness. Okay, I found an article. Let me share my screen.
Yeah. And good management team. They back their own and berate them behind closed doors.
100%. Okay, so Deontay Wilder to sack. I like that. Coach, I don't know. Listen, let me clear this up for my American friends. To sack over here doesn't mean to take somebody to bed. It's to fire them. Okay? The sack over in America, that means the bed. Over here, the sack means getting fired from your job. Okay, so clarification complete. Read it again. Deontay Wilder to sack coach who threw in the towel against Tyson Fury. Mark Breland threw in the towel in the 7th round as Wilder took a beating from Fury in the corner of the ring. Okay, so he's not fired then, as far as I can see. Not fired yet. This is speculative stuff. Although believable, but it's going to backfire in their face if they do that. Having said that, okay, my next question, in case I forget it, somebody remind me. My next question is, should Deontay Wilder be changing up his training operation team, whatever? We get to that after I finish the article. Okay, so I'll lead off with you, John. Just finish this first. So Deontay Wilder will part company with Coach Mark Breland after he threw in the towel in the 7th round defeat at the hands of Tyson Fury. Breland has been widely praised. I think somebody just come on. I can't see it yet. I'm not in that window. Hang it tight. I'll be with you shortly. Mark Breland had been widely praised for his decision as Wilder took a beating in the corner of the ring, having been dropped twice earlier in the fight. But head trainer JD's later said he disagreed with the move, and Wilder has backed up his cornerman. Has backed up his head trainer, he should say. After confirming he will exercise his right to a trilogy fight with Fury, Wilder revealed he's ready to change his coaching team. Okay, so Mark Wilder says, I'm upset with Mark for the simple fact that we've talked about this many times, and it's not emotional. It's not emotional. It's not based on emotion, I think he's saying. Okay, so it's not an emotional thing. It's a principle thing. We've talked about this situation many, many years before this even happened. I've said as a warrior, as a champion, as a leader, as a ruler. Damn, he's a ruler now. I want to go out on my shield. If we're talking about going in and killing a man, respect the same way. I understand that. I abide by the same principle. Okay, it's a poor speaker. So I told my team to never, ever, no matter what it might look like, to never throw the towel in with me, because I'm a special kind. I still have 5 rounds left, no matter what it looked like. I was still in the fight. I understand he was looking out for me and trying to do what he felt was right, but this is my life and my career, and he has to accept my wishes. Puts a slightly different slant on it, but anyway, the article continues. Wilder was also critical of the referee, Kenny Bayless, who he claimed allowed Fury to hit him to the back of his head. The referee told me specifically that if I hit him in the back of the head or hit him on the break, he'd disqualify me. But I guess he was only directed towards me because he allowed Fury to do these things. When I say these things, you know what I mean? Radio Raheem. That's the one thing that bothered me out of everything. Well, clearly not, because you just mentioned something else bothered you. Okay, does that put a different slant on the matter? John D. No. Let me go to Ty. Something. Whatever. Go ahead, Ty.
Sorry. So he's getting rid of. So he may be getting rid of his trainer. Was that it? Yeah.
Yeah. No, we moved on from that because he said that they've spoke about it repeatedly years ago, and it's a principle that he has between him and his trainers, that no matter what how things may appear, do not stop the fight. I'm a special kind. I'm different. I'm not like other guys. So never stop it. So that was a principle between them. Does that change things?
No, not really, no, because technically when he was backed up in that corner, I reckon the referee was going to stop it there and then.
Yeah.
I mean, he could have gone on longer and he could have boxed him up even more, but you know, I mean, him coming off and saying now it's a principle that was years ago and all this garbage, man. I mean, he's never been in that situation before. Out of how many fights, 40-odd fights he's had. So, you know, I mean, it could be the, the morphine must have kicked in after the fight or so, and he must, he's coming off saying all this crap now. So it is what it is. I mean, me personally, I think he's just looking for. I'm not saying an excuse, but he needs something to say. You know what I'm saying? He needs that something to say. Oh, I was a warrior all the way through. That's throughout the fight. So I don't believe in 1 minute.
You still think it was the right thing for Breland to stop it?
Yes, because like I said, that thing would have been a lot worse. His lip was, blood was coming out his lip constantly. The ear situation. I mean, did they know it was a cut or something the matter with his? I don't know. What was it? Something deeper or further?
I don't know.
It's supposed to be a perforated eardrum.
No, it isn't. It isn't a perforated eardrum. Theoretically it could have been, but it wasn't. It was just a cut in the ear. But
just a little stitch.
Well, a few stitches. A couple of stitches. But anyway, so All you're gonna do, well, I'm gonna come in there as I move it along. We got Marla up in the building, James up in the building, Ty Trips, James, John Daly, sorry, and my good self, Raphael Dawkins, Combat Radio. If you have not yet subscribed but you enjoy the content, please kindly do so by hitting that bell icon and selecting notification, all notifications, so you don't miss nothing. So that's the like the videos that you like just by hitting the like button. So that's like, subscribe, comment. Always try and leave a little comment in the videos, as it helps with the algorithms, helps with the visibility. Of course, the more visibility, then the more we can do to grow this baby and do bigger things, do big things, big boy things, and big girl things for the girls. Okay, I didn't mean that to sound funny. Where are the ladies? Shout out to the Raphael Dawkins Combat ladies. Can't see you at the moment, but I know you're lurking. I know you're around. So, okay, this kind of changes things for me a little bit. If they had an agreement that they don't throw in the towel, then Mark Breland, he was doing the humanitarian thing. But if they had a strict agreement that the towel was not to be thrown, then maybe he shouldn't have thrown it. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it. That doesn't mean that I agree with the berating. That doesn't mean that I agree with anybody pushing him around. That doesn't mean that I agree with him being sacked. That doesn't mean that I agree with JD's and JD's throwing him under the bus. That doesn't mean that I agree with Paul Finkel berating him and scolding him. I don't mean I agree with all that thing, but it does change our mind a little bit. Just a little bit. If there was a firm agreement in place that Breland could not, should not, and would not throw in the towel, then I see why Deontay Wilder would feel aggrieved, even though I believe it was the right thing to do. I believe it was the right thing to do, but an agreement is an agreement. If we've got an agreement, if I've got an agreement with my lady, that I'm not even going to do that because that's kind of macabre. But if you have an agreement is an agreement, and maybe, even though it's risking Deontay Wilder's longevity, if he's got an agreement, then an agreement is an agreement. Is an agreement an agreement? James. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go to Marla because we ain't heard nothing from Marla yet. Marla, an agreement is. How you doing, mate? Is an agreement an agreement? Marla.
I guess if they had an agreement, I mean, Mark, I suppose he should have just sat there and let him get pounded. But it's easy for Deontay to say it.
Yeah.
And it's easy for all his fans to say it. When you're the trainer and you're sitting there and you're looking at your fighter and he's looking increasingly exhausted and he's on shaky legs and he's eating flush shots, he's been getting pounded nonstop for 4.5 rounds, he's got blood coming out his ear, you don't know where it's coming from. That's a terrible place to be as a trainer to just, and the human instinct, he's throwing the towel, Yeah.
It's human instinct. It's a humanitarian. As a humanitarian, it's a humanitarian act.
And they are scapegoating Mark Breland. The Wilder camp, they really are scapegoating him. Wilder got exposed in a lot of areas. He was defensively terrible. He got out punched, he got out muscled, he got out speeded, he got out skilled. He just got beaten in every area, and they can't. They're looking past that. They're trying to scapegoat someone else, and it's just, I feel sorry for Mark Breland. I said to you, I think it was today or yesterday, that he's in a no-win situation, Mark Breland. If he throws the towel in, there's going to be people who criticize him for throwing it in. But then if he doesn't throw the towel in and Deontay dies, there are going to be people turning around slagging Breland off for not throwing the towel in. So no matter which way he goes, he's going to have people mad with him.
Yeah. It's an invidious situation to be in, to be put in. It's unethical. I think legally it's unethical. You can't say that you can't forbid somebody who should be looking after your welfare. You can't forbid them to look after your welfare when that is one of their roles and responsibilities.
Absolutely. I mean, you look at Patrick, it wasn't that long ago we watched Patrick Day die and everyone was really sad about it. But then people are saying, oh, we should let Deontay continue fighting. It wasn't like Deontay had been beaten up for 15 to 20 seconds. He had had 4.5 rounds of pounding. And now I thought about the second fight with Andrew Gallotta and Riddick Bowe. You know, Eddie Futch was not with Bowe's team at that point. He'd left. Right. Now, if Eddie Futch had been in that corner, he would have stopped that fight sooner. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't stopped. And Bowe was just up on the ropes with his head just whipping back. He just round after round. He just got destroyed. And after that fight, Riddick Bowe, they tried to interview him, and he couldn't speak. You couldn't understand a word he was saying, and he never got over it. Never. And I heard BFTB saying Deontay's always in with a chance because of his power. They took 5 rounds off him. After that 4.5 rounds of hammering that he took from the 3rd round to the 7th, to think that you could leave him in there to take another 5 rounds of that, he could have just ended up dead or just not able to speak. He could have ended up like Riddick Bowe with damage that he was never going to recover from. Yeah. And the thing was, who's to say that Deontay, with the weakness in his legs and how rocked he was and how tired he was, he couldn't find that power.
No way.
He was done, man. He was hanging by a thread.
Yeah. I see. Let's just get this into context for people. I sprained a bone in my foot. And we were at this amusement place, and I thought nothing of it, but it did hurt. And we were at this amusement place, and there was the punch machine. You know, that punch bag machine, where it registers how hard you hit it. We went on there, and I did a punch, and just as I was punching, it hurt the foot. It hurt my foot. It was the back foot. So as I'm punching with my right hand, and I feel the pain in my back foot, just balancing it, just to throw the punch. So what I'm telling you is that, for one, a punch comes from the feet up through the legs into the back for that pivot. It's a whole body thing. You need your whole body to throw a powerful punch. So I put it to you, since we know for a fact that Deontay Wilder was on wobbly legs. We saw it at the end of the 2nd round. He was on wobbly legs. The fact that Deontay Wilder had no legs automatically means, I put it to you, that means he could not have thrown a knockout punch. John, carry on, Marla. And then
I agree totally. His whole body, you could see his legs were starting to buckle. He was exhausted. He was wobbly. He didn't have his equilibrium. How do you throw a knockout, 1-punch knockout, when you got no equilibrium and you're exhausted? It's dream world stuff, mate. That fight, what the problem with the LDBC they have invested into Deontay, like it's almost like he's a god. He's almost a religion to them. And they just can't bring themselves to admit that the fight should have been stopped, that their man, he lost. He was taking a hammering. I agreed with the fight against AJ Ruiz getting stopped. I had no issue with that. The guy had taken enough. And it was the same with Wilder. He had taken enough. We're not in the 1960s now. You know, we're not going to sit there and watch guys get beaten to death. Those times are gone, man, and rightly so. And I got no issue with it. You know what the narrative now is coming out of the LDBC? It makes me laugh. They said, Deontay lost, but he lost to Fury, a really great fighter. AJ lost to Andy Ruiz, who wasn't even top 15. That's their narrative now. And it's like, the thing is, in boxing, Lennox Lewis, he lost to Oliver McCall. He lost to Rockman. He's a better fighter than those two guys. But what makes boxing special is you can get in the ring with someone, you're a better fighter than them. You got more skill, more everything. But on that day, they land the punch. And that's what makes boxing special. You can beat somebody that's better than you. And that's what happened to Lennox. And that's what happened to AJ. He is a better fighter than Ruiz, but he just got caught the beautiful punch on the night in the right place. And the god smiled kindly on Ruiz. You know what I mean? That's all that was. You can lose to a fighter who's not as good as you.
100%. And also, if they want to go with the narrative that Tyson Fury Tyson Fury is a better fighter than Ruiz. That's all cool in the gang. But Tyson Fury ain't no killer, like we saw him being a killer on Saturday. Tyson Fury typically ain't no killer. So they took a guy who's primarily a defensive guy and what I call a fiddler. He'll do you 2 little light taps, move out the way, come around the corner and give you another couple of light taps. They took a fiddler. They took a light tapping fiddler and turned him into a killer. So they can put that into their equations. John D. Lee.
Well, I think all of this sort of narrative is more symptomatic of the underlying problems. How can the fighter be dictating to the trainer what's going to happen like that? It says more. It says to me, well, he's not listening to anything that his trainers are telling him on a day-to-day basis. He's not prepared to learn off them because he's in charge. He's the king. He's got the big ego. He tells them what to do. Well, that's never going to work in a, the trainer needs to be the one giving out the discipline, telling the fighter what to do. And his job is to follow the instructions. If the trainer gets it wrong, then fine, move on, go to a different trainer. But you can't, I cannot see as a fighter how you don't understand the process properly. It's not your job to tell the trainer if he's going to throw the towel in or not.
But he's special though.
Exactly, that's the problem. So how are you going to learn when you're untouchable, you're the best?
When you're the special one.
Yeah. And then the next thing about all these excuses about why he lost. Nobody said that Joshua could reinvent himself in the way that he did. Most people thought he couldn't do it. Yep. They knew it was the right way to beat Ruiz, but the question was, can he do it?
I said he couldn't do it.
Yeah, the reason I think he did do it is because he didn't make any excuses. He had a good look at what he did wrong. He listened to what people told him to do, and he did it.
Yeah.
And Joshua's come out after Wilder's lost and said to Wilder, "You're a gladiator." He hasn't got any bitterness. He hasn't got anything to prove. And that, again, is just a sign of their inferiority complex. They're just spending more, the LDBC and Deontay Wilder. The fact that Joshua can quite happily congratulate both Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder on being brave, doing everything in the ring that you could do to win the fight. Okay, you lost, it's fine. You're still a gladiator. He said he'll still fight him. When Joshua loses, Deontay Wilder's having a party, talking about saying that he quit, coming out with all of this stuff, just spending his whole time slating him. He hasn't stopped slating him.
Hasn't stopped.
And this is what's holding him back.
Everybody saw the video. Anybody who hasn't seen the video at the start of the show, when you get to the end of the show, feel free to go back to the beginning of the show to see the first video of the show, the warming video of the show, which is basically Deontay Wilder saying that when you feel sorry for Deontay Wilder, and you watch that video, just bear that video in mind. It's Deontay whining, Deontay Wilder saying that Anthony Joshua doesn't deserve a fight with me. He doesn't deserve to be in the same ring as me.
But the point I'm really trying to make about it is, if you're going to go away and make the adjustments that are required, then you need to be honest with yourself about what you did wrong. And that's what Tyson Fury did to beat Wilder. It's what Joshua did to beat Ruiz.
Do you know the problem though?
Go on.
I'll go, mate. Go.
Well, I'm just saying, I think Wilder's ego is going to get in the way of that.
Yeah.
He's going to come up with excuses as to why it's not his fault.
You come up with excuses till they come out of his derriere.
I think one of the problems, One of the problems, see, AJ was able to go away and correct things because AJ essentially, he has a good right hand. He has a good left hook. He has the best uppercut in the heavyweight division. He can fight outside. He can fight inside. He's got a good jab. He can lose weight, so he's got better stamina. His fundamentals are a lot better than Wilder's. So he was able to go away and fix things. The problem for Wilder, his defense is atrocious. He can't fight inside. He's a one-trick pony with the right hand. So, and for him to try and develop an inside game and develop a left hook and develop an uppercut and be able to work the body and trying to fix these things in like 6 months, it's a lot harder for him. He's got a lot more to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how much of that you've of the show you've heard, man. I totally agree with everything you're saying there. But fundamentally, I think the reason he doesn't have these fundamentals in the first place is because his ego's in the way of learning.
Yeah, he's been a professional fighter for 12 years, and he hasn't progressed.
He hasn't progressed.
Amazing.
Because like Joshua's got plenty of errors, but the thing is, he'll listen and he'll work hard and he'll try and get better.
And he'll learn. And he has.
Can't teach someone that knows everything.
He has Anthony Joshua has the humility to learn. He has the humility. There are people who are questioning.
But that's the character, though.
Sorry, James, carry on. James,
so that's the character, though, isn't it? That's like Anthony Joshua. See, with a boxer, it's like you got a character, and you got the person you are outside the ring, the person you are inside the ring, and they do correlate. See, Anthony Joshua is completely different than Wilder. Wilder's ego is made the fact that he thinks that he's a god. You know, they say people think about something, you think about it too much, it becomes real, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like a lie becomes real because you've lied about it so many times. That's what Wilder's done in his head. He's put it around. He's like, oh my god, I'm the god, I'm the god. I know one can beat me. I've got the best power out there, best right hand. And if that's how he thinks of it, when he steps in that ring, all he's thinking about is what he's going to do and how he's going to do it. And he knows that. The problem is, if you try and change that in his career, where he is now as well, the age he is and whatever, he probably can't do that. So he's got to stick with his characters now and stay with it.
Yeah.
See Joshua a lot more versatile. Same with Tyson Fury, versatile. They're better boxers when it comes down to it. They are boxers. They're not a one-trick pony.
But they're also prepared to learn. I mean, Tyson's gone off and done something that's uncomfortable to him. He spent 7 weeks trying to get to grips with that style. I think he's got a lot more to learn on it. But the fact is, he's prepared to go in and learn. He's prepared to go and take himself out of his comfort zone and do something.
You also got to think about the amount that Wilder would have to learn compared to the amount that Tyson Fury would have to learn to do what he did.
I don't think he's got time to do it now. I think it's why he's in the mess that he's in. No, I think it's why he has no fundamentals in the first place, because he's got this issue.
Okay.
I read an article
every single day doing the same thing.
I just read an article, and he said he's exercising the rematch clause. He's doing it, man. He's fucking doing it. Oh God!
Bring it on, then. I mean, I've changed my position. I was very much anti the third fight, but that third fight cannot come soon enough. I want to see it. I want to see it because, listen, we're probably all writing Wilder off right now. Everybody's saying that Wilder probably ain't going to win the third fight. But guess what? He has the chance of redemption.
Oh, he does. He's got the bomb. He could land the bomb, mate. He could land the bomb and win the third one.
If Wilder beats Fury in the rematch, I'll come on here and give him his credit.
Yeah. Well, credit can't be true. Yeah. Credit can't be taken from him.
The bomb on top.
Oh, not really. Not really. Tyson was seeing those coming. He was turning his head. He was rolling with a lot of them. They weren't landing absolutely.
They weren't landing.
I'm not so sure about the power anyway. I mean, when you look at the people that he knocks out, normally somebody else has managed to do it either before, quicker, nearly as quick. I mean, is Charles Martin that big a puncher? But he put Gerald Washington down without any problems.
Yeah.
At a similar time.
Nice. That was
Spilker got knocked out by Bryant Jennings before he fought Wilder. Who else has Bryant Jennings actually knocked out?
I don't think there's too many knockouts. There's no knockouts and notes on Bryant Jennings' resume. But we're going to have to go around the table on this one. Wilder's defense. Where's that question? I just saw it. Wilder's defense is really bad. He holds a weak high guard. I'm going to have to go in on this because Wilder's idea of defense is to hold his hands up around his head, and while he's doing that, his two hands are now demobilized. His opponent who has walked him back into that position now has free punches on him. So anybody who backs up Wilder and attacks him to the head will then have the opportunity to go to the body every single time. So, to be clear, You step forward to Joshua, you step forward to Wilder, you throw at his head, both hands go up, you throw 2 to the body, 2 hooks to the body, and if you want to step off, you can step off. Okay, fine, go ahead, step off to the side. He's what? He wants to throw his big right. Okay, step over to his left, do a little jab, step out of the way. Okay, then he comes forward, you change angles, step to him again, throw 1 to the head. What is he going to do? He's going to put his 2 hands up. You go 2 to the body, rinse, wash, repeat.
No, there's a problem with that, Raphie.
Carry on.
You're not going to get 2 off to his body. The first one's going to put him down. Tyson took his feet off the floor with like a slapping body punch.
Did you notice? Did you notice yesterday, Raphie, when I was talking to you about it? Also, I noticed it. I watched the fight 3 times, and I noticed it. And even from the first round, that Wilder, he had his hands down around his chest, and he was just pulling his head straight back to try and avoid punches.
Oh hell yeah!
It's just like, my God, mate, what are you? This guy Fury's got an 85-inch reach and fast hands. He can get you from a long way away. For you to have your hands down, just be pulling your head straight back from punches, it's inviting destruction. You're inviting it, man.
No, this is what happens when you fight bums. He's got so many bad habits. He's so used to having the reach on everybody.
It's true.
He's so used to having the height, the reach, that he just puts his hands up and sort of leans back because they're nowhere near him normally.
He puts
bomb
in
killer.
Bomb
killer.
Carry on. Yeah, bomb killer. Carry on. Tie trips. What are you saying?
No, I was just agreeing with
John Dealey.
With John Dealey. Just basically, like I say, he's just been fighting bums throughout the last 5 years or so, and on Saturday just proved it. You know what I'm saying? Even the fight before. So yeah, I have to go with John Dealey there. That's why I always call him bomb killer.
James.
Yeah.
Where's James? Yeah. Over to you, James.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah. I can hear you.
I'm not so sure about all this because I just think that's Wilder's style. You know, he's a shit house of a boxer, but a bloody good shit house. That's why I just call him.
Yeah, he's not, but he's not ish house. He's not. He's even more of a ish house when you're walking back.
Mm.
When you're walking back, you take away all his tools.
That's because no one's done it to him, right?
He's going backwards. He's got no back foot game. He's got his legs. Going back to what Marla was talking about, he's talking about his positioning. His legs were all wrong. His positioning was absolutely hideous. His foot positioning, absolutely hideous, and he's got away with it because he's been fighting low caliber opponents. And Ortiz, okay, Ortiz was his big step up, but how much of a step up is Ortiz? I mean, you know, he got away with it with Ortiz. He just strolled around the ring for 8 rounds with Ortiz. You know,
let's put that into context. Ortiz went the distance with Hammer.
Yeah, Hammer. Christian Hammer.
Ortiz is not a big puncher.
No.
Who is the biggest puncher that Deontay Wilder has faced? It's Tyson Fury's the biggest puncher he's faced.
Yeah.
And let's think about that. Tyson Fury, he can hit you because he's a massive guy, but he's not a power puncher.
Pound for pound, you can't call Tyson Fury a power puncher, but he's powerful enough to rock guys and to, you know, make people feel highly uncomfortable. Then the 2 hands go up and then you're finished.
I think, you know, what happened to Deontay in a way was inevitable. We talked about it a few months back, and I made the comment that he relies on that right hand. That's his thing. And it's like, I don't have to win rounds because I'm just going to knock my opponent out. And I remember a few months back, I commented on this. It's almost like someone who goes to the casino and puts all their money on one spin of the roulette wheel, and they're either going to win big or go broke.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you keep doing that, you're going to go broke.
Yeah.
And there was an inevitability for Wilder that this was going to happen to him.
Yeah.
You can't just knock everybody out. You can't just be that one-dimensional guy that just looks for that one punch like it's going to save you every time.
Yeah.
And, you know, this had to happen to him. And
And I think it's exasperated by the fact that he hasn't really been fighting top caliber opposition. So his knockout power may not be what people think it is. You know, I mean, even the Dominic Brazil knockouts, like Izu Agunu had dominated
Yes.
Brazil on the canvas.
Yeah.
You know, he hasn't. We don't really know how good his knockout power is, but Deontay Wilder completely believes that he can knock any man out on the planet, and he's not even. He's so drunk on his power, and I think he landed a couple on Tyson in this fight. I think Tyson took some decent shots off him. I think that even blew his mind a little bit as well.
that first couple of rounds.
Yeah.
You could see in his eyes. He was like, "What? Like what? What the hell just happened? He touched him. He's like, what? You, Tyson Featherfist?
Featherfist just kept walking like some big scary monster. Bald head.
Well, it's funny.
Walking at him.
I've had conversations. You know, I actually warned AJ fans. About this. At a time when AJ was undefeated and he had knocked everybody out. And I said to them, you know, he's going to blast this guy in one round and he'll blast this other guy. And I said to them, hey, man, there's going to come a point where he's going to hit someone and they're not going to go down.
Yeah.
And it happened to him.
Yeah.
And I warned the Wilder fans also. All the biggest heavyweight punchers in history, they all come across guys who could take their punch. Tyson, Foreman, Joe Louis, everybody. It happens. And if you haven't got a plan B, man, you know, you're going to get caught out.
100%. And we have to touch. Who said it? Who just said it? Who said it? Okay, there we are. There's the new narrative. The new narrative. We're going to give Tyson Fury's praise in a little bit, but we have to address this thing that's coming up now. The AJ. Some AJ haters have resurfaced. Tyson Fury, they're saying Tyson Fury is going to slay Anthony Joshua based on his performance against Deontay Wilder.
Yeah, man. AJ's going to be a lot harder. AJ's a more. I heard those comments straight after the fight, and AJ is not one-dimensional. As I say, he's got right hand, left hook, best uppercut in the game. He can fight outside, inside. He's got a better jab than Wilder. He's defensively better. You don't see AJ with his hands down around his chest, pulling straight back with his head and his chin up in the air. I think AJ will be. I'm not saying Fury won't beat him, but it will be a harder fight for him.
Yeah,
Fury's not going to just be able to lean all over AJ.
No,
bully him around the ring like a rag doll. That's one thing that Fury isn't going to be able to do.
And if Fury gets inside, he's going to have to watch out for that uppercut.
There's all those things you've got to watch out for. Body shots, uppercut, hooks.
If Fury gets inside, it's going to be very interesting because AJ has an inside game.
The thing is, the great thing about it is, if Fury wins the rematch, we probably will see the fight and we will actually find out who's going to win. That's the good thing.
Yeah, man.
Correct. Yeah.
It's going to be great.
Tie trips.
I have to agree with what John did. He said again. Basically, if we see if Fury wins this next against Wilder, I believe that we will get undisputed. But you know, Fury's not going to be. He's not going to have an easy fight against like what he just did, but against Wilder, definitely not. AJ's more of a, I would say, master technician boxer, but his technique is one in a few what these heavyweights these days have. So it will be a tough one. I can't call it. I believe that Fury has more of a reach, but it also comes down to weight as well. I mean, how much did Fury put on in this? How much weight did he put on in this fight?
17 pounds.
17 pounds, 18 or something like that. I mean, you know, that
his weight was 19 stone, I think, or 18, 12.
Yeah, it says it all. I mean, you know, I believe that some of the weight that was basically when they were hugging much up in the ring. Yeah. Basically, I think that took a bit of some energy out of Wilder. But if this happens in the AJ fight, I can't see that much. I can't see it happening that much. You know,
if he tries to lay like that, tries to lay on AJ like that, AJ is looking for that hook. come with the left hook, right uppercut, maybe another left hook.
Yeah, I have to agree. So it would be interesting, but I mean, if Wilder's basically thrown in now saying what is it? He's going for the rematch clause.
Mm-hmm.
I can't see. To be honest, he can get rid of his trainers and all that, and like go back to the gym, work on his leg work and all that. I mean, he can knock him out, but I can't. I just see the result as the same again.
Yeah, it's going to be the same result. I expect the same result, but earlier. He's going to do him earlier. He's going to absolutely. You thought that was battering. He's going to do him. Having said that, you have to add the caveat that I think Wilder would. I think Wilder would be better in the third fight. He'll be better than he was this time around. However, I think Fury will be better in the third fight. But then that leads me to another conclusion. Fury can get knocked out next time around.
Oh, yeah.
No, that's true.
He can get knocked out next time around because listen to my reasoning. Listen to my logic. My logic is that next time around, Deontay Wilder will most likely, if we're drawing a probability tree, then I would say the probability is that Wilder will be better the next time around. I also think that Fury got confident when he sat down and rationalized and rationally thought about it and thought, hold on a second. I took that guy's shots. He watched the fight back like I did the other day, and it concluded in my mind. I saw periods when Tyson was putting it on Wilder without even really stepping forward that much. So when he sat down, he thought, hold on a second. I was putting it on him when I was kind of almost semi-defensive. What if I go 75% attack mode? What happens then? If I was in 50-50 mode and I was putting it on him for spells, what if I just go to 75% attack mode? Then I'm going to really put it on him. What if I put on a bit of weight, like my dad told me to? Then I'm going to really put it on him. So he got more confident. And what we saw out of him on Saturday was a result of his increased confidence. Now, after what's happened, I say Tyson Fury gets even more confident. And I put it to you, it's only just occurred to me. I put it to you that he gets overconfident in there. In those early rounds, Deontay Wilder can take him out. Marla.
Oh, I agree. I mean, Deontay, I mean, he's got that, that one-punch bomb that he can put in at any time. There's no doubt. You can't just dismiss him and say he can't win the fight. The thing when I watched that fight the 3 times, one of the things Wilder can do to help himself greatly is his defense. They've got to tell him, you have got to pick your hands up. You can't have your hands down by your chest, pulling your head straight back to get away from punches. He ate so many punches because of that. There were so many punches he got hit with he could have avoided.
Yeah.
And he's got to learn that when Fury's it's like the bull in the matador. When Fury's coming at him hard, keep your hands up, get down, get under the punches and step around him. Let that forward momentum go past you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There are things that they can improve just tactically. There's simple things they can do to help him defensively. I don't know, like the inside game's a little harder. Trying to develop an uppercut in 6 months and trying to develop a body attack in 6 months. I don't know if they can do that, but they could tighten his defense up.
Yeah, 100%. James.
Yeah, I just think he's just got to go in there. He's got to practice what he's usually been practicing. He's got to try and knock him out.
Yeah. You're a Fury. You're a Fury man. Fury versus Joshua. A lot of people are Wildettes talking about that now.
Fury Joshua. I think Fury wins.
How?
I think he wins convincingly.
Okay.
By knockout.
How?
Because if you watch Joshua, Joshua can get hurt. He can get hurt easy as well. And not saying he's gonna
hurt him easily. Who did he get hurt against easy?
Povetkin kind of hurt him a little bit.
Knockout puncher, Olympic gold medalist, ex-world champion. Next.
Dillian White.
I suppose so. Dillian White, yeah.
Dillian White, one of the biggest punchers in the game. Next.
Now you're just making me think. But the way, obviously the little Mexican, little Mexican, yeah,
a devastating puncher if you play around mid range with him.
There's three has been named, so three's enough.
I put it to you because I want to go around the table because it's something that I thought but never said. I thought at the time, but I never said it. But I'm going to say it now. No, I thought Klitschko, Dr. Steelhammer, one of the best of this era. I thought at the time that what's his name, Ruiz would give Wilder trouble. Nobody agreed with me. I never said it, but I listened to people's opinions. Nobody said it. John D. Lee. Am I wrong?
Well, I've been saying. How long have I been saying, Raphie, that you need to step to Wilder's power? How long have I been saying that for?
The longest time.
I've been saying it for a very long time now, because Ruiz is going to walk forward and Wilder can't. He actually can't move backwards. He moves his front foot first and stumbles into his back foot with his front foot when he's trying to go backwards.
Yeah,
which means he can't throw a punch and he can't defend because he's stuck still. So, and once you're past Wilder's reach, he's helpless. He's like a baby.
That's what I'm saying.
So if Andy Ruiz gets in there, I'm sorry, those ears are getting punched because that's where Andy Ruiz goes for. He hits the ear.
Yeah.
So
I talk to people.
I see the same result.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also think Wilder's power's severely overrated as well.
What do you mean same result?
Same result in that he gets clocked round the ear.
Yeah.
And he gets beat up by Andy Ruiz.
Okay.
The same result as Tyson Fury, and pretty much what Andy Ruiz did to Joshua in the first fight.
Yeah. Marla.
Yeah, I was the same. I was talking to people about when Ruiz had beat AJ and then people were starting to consider whether Ruiz would fight Wilder. I said the same thing to people. Everyone was saying, not everybody, a lot of people saying, oh, Wilder just sparks and Wilder's. Yeah. And I said to them, but that depends on if Ruiz takes Wilder's power. If Wilder hits Ruiz and Ruiz doesn't go down, or he goes down, but he gets up and comes back firing, if he gets inside on Wilder, he's got the advantage with his inside game, with his hand speed, his combination punching, and yeah, he could tear Wilder up.
That's right.
Marla, can I ask you a question?
Yep.
There seems to be this consensus that Deontay Wilder hits harder than Anthony Joshua, but I don't really understand why.
Yeah, and that's true. That is a good question. You have to ask that, because if you look at AJ's resume, really, he has fought consistently better people than Wilder has.
Yeah.
And when you step up in competition, you saw Mike Tyson knocked out heaps of sponge cakes. When he stepped up into the top echelon, he was still knocking some guys out, a lot of guys out, but he had to work harder to knock them out. He wasn't getting generally wasn't getting the 1 and 2 round KOs quite so much. He had to work for it. And sometimes he went 12 rounds with Tony Tucker, 12 rounds with Bone Crusher Smith as he stepped up in class. David Tua was the same. As he stepped up in class, he found himself still getting KOs, but having to work hard for it.
And how long do you think Arthur Spilker would last with Joshua?
Exactly.
That's 9 rounds.
Yeah, that's right. It is a fair question. It is a really fair question.
Right. So this idea that because Andy Ruiz beat up Joshua, but Wilder will just knock him out, it's like Andy Ruiz is not an easy man to put down. I don't care how hard a punch you are.
Yeah.
You're not putting down someone who's 270 pounds easily. It's not going to happen easy. You
And
might do it, but it won't be easy.
Yeah, I was defending AJ too when he had the second fight with Ruiz, and a lot of people were criticizing AJ, especially the LDBC, AJ run like a bitch and all this. And I said, no, he didn't. Like, he was using a lot of lateral movement, but he was also, he was touching Ruiz up with some fast, hard power punches. And those punches would have knocked most of other heavyweights out.
The other thing is that right hand that Joshua throws in the first round that busts open Ruiz's eye, I think made Ruiz think a little bit about coming in as well.
I think so. I
don't think, because Ruiz remembered that he'd been down from a left hook.
Yeah.
And that left hook when I've heard AJ talking about the left hook that he put Ruiz down with, AJ said he was surprised. He didn't expect him to go down from it. And that's part of the reason that he rushed in, because he thought it was going to be easy work.
Yeah.
So that's why I got clocked. That's why I got, that's why I came cropper.
Yeah.
But, you know, that those punches he put on Ruiz would have knocked most other heavyweights out.
Yeah.
So when people criticized AJ for not getting the stoppage in that fight, I didn't agree with it. You know, Ruiz's chin kept him in there, even though I think I gave him 2 rounds of the fight or something. It was you know, very lopsided. So yeah.
Yes. So James, what was the question anyway? What was the question? It was Ruiz versus Wilder.
Yeah, obviously, if Wilder gets on the inside, you know, it depends what Wilder. It depends what Ruiz. You know, it depends what Ruiz shows up. You know, if it's the first Anthony Joshua Ruiz, that first one or the second one.
Yeah,
I think if the first one shows up, he's really going to cause Wilder some problems. Like, proper causing some problems.
But what if the second one can take Wilder's power? What happens then?
Then it's a stalemate, isn't it?
and it's a tricky,
absolute stalemate.
Tough situation. Tie trips.
Yeah.
Ruiz
Wilder. Yeah. Ruiz. I believe he's, like you say, he's more of a come forward boxer as well. So if Wilder's on the back foot and Ruiz catches him also or goes in on him, I mean, it'll be a difficult fight. As for Wilder's power, though, I don't think he'll lay him out or so, lay Ruiz out. But I believe Ruiz will go in on that. But I don't know, man. I'll have to say Wilder on that one. Still,
okay.
I'm not too sure. Not too sure.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. We're asking for opinions, so that's what we want. We want opinions.
Just by look of the right hand.
Say again?
That's all. Just by look of the right hand for Wilder only.
The right hand, the big right hand, and apparently nothing else. Just the big right hand, and that ain't good. And I think, let me just scroll through this thing to make sure, because I want to give some praise. Well, actually, we can start. You guys can start without me. Let's give some praise to Tyson Fury. Let's talk about what he did. We're going to start with the tie trips.
Well, Fury backed up everything what he said. You know what I mean? He said he was going to knock him out. Wasn't in the first 2 rounds, but he actually did everything what he said he was going to do. He said he was going to go out and attack him, and that's what he did, really. And I've got to give full credit to Fury, because even I didn't even think, even though I wanted Fury to win, I didn't think logically that he was up for it. I just thought, you know, it's just going to be, he's going to outbox him, and he's just going to get banged out with that right hand again. But I got to give credit to where credit's due. I mean, it surprised me, and I'm very happy about it. So full credit goes to Tyson Fury, and I'll go as far to say now that he's the #1 heavyweight in the world.
And so my standard patent response to that is, how is he the #1 heavyweight in the world when you got another man? Another man who unifies, another man who, when he wins, when he beats a champion, he is still available for the rematch. He doesn't go away. He doesn't run away and retire.
Yeah, no, I agree. But I think it's the way he goes about it. You know what I mean? He says what he does, and the way he just goes in his last couple of fights. I mean, it's just like it's really a pleasure to watch. You know what I mean? I mean, for a boxer to go through what he's been through and all that. But
how long has Fury been a pleasure to watch?
Well, since he's been back, since he come off the couch,
he's been a pleasure.
With the
Sefa Safiri and Francesco Pianeta.
Oh, the first two. The dustbin guy and the bouncer.
Are you including those two guys, or are you saying, well, he's just come back, so you got to cut him some slack?
Yeah. I would say all since he's been back. You know what I mean? Fair enough. Them two guys are just there were nobodies. But
he just come back, and it was fair for him to shake off some rust. Is that fair? Is that what you say?
Yeah, get the rust off. But like I say, his third fight was going up against the WBC champion, you know, and no one on this planet gave Fury a chance. But it's the way he boxed on that night, though.
I'm on tape saying he would win.
Sorry?
I'm on tape on one of the biggest boxing channels on the net saying that he would win. That's why I bought a ticket to go and watch.
Yeah. Well, I didn't think that he'll win. I didn't think that back then he'll win. But for that fight, though, he did. He clearly won the fight. Fair enough, those 2 knockdowns he got. But I believe that like I say, that fight just that was the defining point to say, you know what, this man's going to go on and do some real damage.
You won that fight. He won
it clearly as daylight. So all these LBD fans and all this BFT, whatever his name is, BMW bed and breakfast, whatever his name is, you know, they could say what they like. You know what I mean? They got their own little world, you know, in Deontay Wilder. Just like what that guy said earlier. They think he's a god, but basically, technically, it was going to happen. He was going to get banged out. And
worship false idols.
Oh yeah, like I say, I mean, there's fair enough. If you're a fan of someone or something, yeah, fair enough. But at the same time, there's logic with boxing as well. You know what I mean? We all knew that Wilder was flipping. No, we all knew Wilder wasn't. You know, what I mean, I've always said that Anthony Joshua is the better boxer than Wilder any day. But we all knew that this day was gonna happen, and I'm pleased that it did happen because it's exposed the geezer for what he is. Fraud.
Exposed. James.
Yeah. What was the question again? I've completely lost track of everything.
I think, are we giving? Yeah, we're giving Tyson Fury.
Oh yeah,
credit, giving him his credit.
I think you really have got to give him credit because he's done what no other heavyweight has done. Literally none. He's fought
He's won the ring title twice. He's won the ring title twice. The ring belt.
Yeah, he's done that, but he's also fought Deontay Wilder. You know, I don't care if you can say, "Oh, Anthony Joshua offered this such and such."
Yeah,
he didn't fight him when it comes down to it. He didn't fight him. So
no, Wilder didn't fight him. Wilder's the one who turned down the contract.
Joshua didn't fight him. He didn't fight him. He didn't fight him. Tyson Fury did. That's where you got to give him the props.
Hold on a second. Wilder didn't accept the contract, so you have to say Wilder didn't fight Joshua rather than Joshua didn't fight Wilder. So Wilder,
whatever way.
Wilder Wilder opted to fight Fury and opted not to fight Joshua.
I mean, of course, there's you can put that in the way, but you know, Tyson Fury has done it. He did do it, and he beat him. He's the first ever person that is in the professional game has knocked him out, and that's where you got to give him the props.
Yeah,
and that's why it consolidates him as the best heavyweight on this earth.
Oh, consolidate? How do you mean consolidate? Consolidate means...
I think in 2015...
Consolidate means to reaffirm.
So in 2015, he said that he was the best heavyweight, and he proved it by beating Vladimir Klitschko. So in 2015, he was the best. He was the best, top of the pinnacle.
Then he retired.
Drugged, whatever, comes back, does it again. Beats the first, second, third best heavyweight in the world, whatever way you want to put it, but he's done that. No other heavyweight has ever done that currently, and that's what makes him the best heavyweight at his current moment in time. And that's what consolidates the fact.
How can he be the best heavyweight when he hasn't fought the unified champion?
He hasn't fought the unified champion, but as the unified champion fought either Tyson Fury or Wilder, which hasn't happened.
Yeah, but the unified champ's the unified champ. How can he be numero uno is my question when he hasn't fought the unified champ?
But the unified champ, by thing, isn't a lineal champ higher? The lineal champ is the highest, is the best. There's nothing better than a lineal champ.
Disagree. Carry on. I disagree.
By definition, isn't it? It's lineal is the one.
It's not, James. So when Leon Spinks fought Mike Tyson, Leon Spinks, the only title that he had was the lineal whereas Tyson was the undisputed champion. So it's actually the undisputed champion is the best.
Yeah,
that's the top.
yeah. Undisputed is the best, but let me
also when George Foreman carried on fighting after beating who did he? So I've drawn a blank. When
Michael Moore,
George, when he beat Mora, he didn't defend the belt. He just carried on with the lineal title, didn't he?
Yeah, that's right.
So he wasn't recognised as the best heavyweight at that point either. So there's two clear-cut examples.
Can I give a third?
Of fighters.
Can I give a third?
It's your show, Raph.
If Lennox Lewis comes back, and he's retired, so he can't be lineal. But Lennox Lewis was the last proper lineal. Tyson Fury, we're going to go back to praising him in a second. But I just needed to touch on this. Tyson Fury got his linealship off beating Vladimir Klitschko. Now, to be the man, you have to beat the man who beat the man. Who the Vladimir Klitschko beat. Because the last lineal was Lennox Lewis. He retired, so that lineal string had been cut. So when who was it that Ruslan? Who was it that
Ruslan Chagayev? It's very tenuous. There's some sort of very tenuous. Really tenuous that he's number 2.
It was loosely decided that Ruslan Chagayev, if Vladimir Klitschko beat him, he would be the new lineal champ. Okay, so we're not going to go into that. That's for another show. But so Tyson Fury beat a man who didn't beat the man. And the definition of lineal, one definition is beating the man who beat the man who beat the man. But anyway, I digress. And we're supposed to be bigging the man up and giving him his props. But I just wanted to bring that in there. But James, please finish up your thing.
Yeah, I just want to put it that way. I think Tyson Fury has consolidated. He definitely has consolidated the fact that he's number 1, and he's shown it. He's shown that he has the skills to pay the bills. And by God, he can pay a lot of bills now.
Well, he could have consolidated. He would have consolidated if he'd have stuck around and didn't retire. But we're not talking about that. That's for another show. We're complimenting the man for the feat.
And I think you got to compliment him more because of the mental health and all the reviews in your body. You know.
Yeah.
Used that body, and he drunk whatever, smoked whatever. You know, that takes a hit on anyone. You know.
Yeah, man.
And he's come back. He's lost all that weight.
You come out to the beer house, the crack house, the whore house, the curry house, and come back and do what you did against a fraud.
It's a fraud, but the fraud was still the second best heavyweight in the world.
Yeah. The fraud had some attributes. He did it against the fraud, but you can only beat who's there, James.
Exactly. The thing is that the heavyweight division isn't that stacked. There's lots of names.
I think it's pretty stacked.
I don't think it is that stacked because there's not many. Because people say, "Oh, this that." But he beat a lot of people.
Yeah, he did.
And he beat
tomato cans, etc. But
he beat all the Americans, basically, didn't he?
He beat all the Americans. He did. He did what he did, man, and they manipulated the thing so that he stayed heavyweight champion. Didn't have to fight the best.
9 title defenses.
He's full of crapola, but he did have that belt around his waist, and you got to give him props for that. Tyson Fury, let me have a go. Tyson Fury deserves a salute. Deserves a salute for what he's done. He's come back and he's done what. But you see, I'm too rational. I'm too rational for this because the only reason Deontay Wilder gave Tyson Fury a chance to beat him, a chance to fight him, which is a chance to beat him. The only reason he did that was because Tyson Fury had just come out to the crack house, the whore house, the beer house, and the curry house. And he thought Tyson Fury was Mr. Pillow Fist, Mr. Pillsbury Pillow Fist. Yeah? So if Deontay Wilder thought that Tyson Fury posed any problem, he wouldn't have given him the chance. That's why I didn't give Joshua the chance. That's why he hasn't given Dillian White the chance. He's run away from Dillian White now for 2 years. So let's be real. The only reason he had Tyson Fury in the ring was because he thought Tyson Fury was a Pillsbury Doughboy pillow fist. And even in the first fight, Tyson Fury didn't do anything to dissuade him from that point of view. So he was eager to get Tyson Fury back up in there. But Tyson Fury switched it up. Tyson Fury went back to his roots. Tyson Fury went back to his lineage, back into the Kronk gym. And Tyson Fury came out with that Kronk influenced style. Well, I'm going to call it a Kronk style. We thought he was just going to be Kronk influenced, or he's going to be learning the Kronk to use anti-Kronk. But no, he went to Kronk and he refound the Kronk style. He got that Kronk style pumped in his veins, and he crunked Deontay Wilder. And so what am I saying? I'm saying a salute to Mr. Tyson Fury. You've done Britain proud. You have joined. You haven't consolidated Shizzle, but you have joined Anthony Joshua. You're sitting at the foot of the throne of Joshua. You've joined him. You've climbed the red carpet up onto the stairs. You're right next to the throne. You ain't sitting in the throne. Anthony Joshua, the unified champion's been doing that for the last 3 years. When you, my friend, when you were fornicating and indulging in all of the 7 sins, while you were doing that, Mr. Tyson Fury, there was a guy who was stable and reliable and steadfast and avaricious with his desire to be the best. And he sits on the throne for that reason. You, my friend, you took 3 years off, but now you're back like the prodigal son. You're back like the prodigal son. And yes, you have done. Yeah, just mute yourself, people. And you have done. Mute yourself, people. Mute yourself, people. And you have done Britain proud. So, yeah, I salute Tyson Fury for coming back and climbing back. He's got a belt now. There's 3 more belts to go, 4 more belts to go. Anthony Joshua claims those. I say, make yourself truly great and fight for undisputed. But in the meantime, salute to Tyson Fury. John D. Lee.
It's quite easy for me to give him Tyson Fury props, because as soon as he went to Sugar Hill, I came on there and said that this is what he should do, and he's gone and done it.
Yeah.
So what I really want to give him credit for is looking at the first fight, looking at what adjustments he could make, going out and making them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's any fighter that can do that deserves all the credit in the world. If people want to say that Tyson Fury is now the #1 boxer in the world, I don't really have an issue, because I don't think we've got a #1 until we've got an undisputed fighter.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So once we have an undisputed heavyweight champion, we don't have to have these discussions about who we think is the best.
Yeah.
We'll have an undisputed champion, and if it's Joshua or Tyson Fury, I believe that they will both fight their mandatory. Tyson said he'll fight Dillian. So that's what I want to see. And I'm all right with Wilder getting his chance, because I want to go and see Joshua battle Pulev at Tottenham. So if they do that in the summer, and then we can have an undisputed fight, because I think Usyk will quite happily just call his mandatory position for undisputed and wait a bit longer. I don't think they'll have a problem with Usyk taking more step-side money.
Okay. So, Marla.
Yep. As for Tyson Fury, I didn't believe him. like when he said he was gonna, take it to Wilder and knock him out, in my heart I thought, yeah, okay, you're gonna say that, but when you get in there, you're gonna do what you do. You're gonna fight that style you did with Vlad. You're gonna be slick.
Yeah.
So I got to give him his props. He backed up his talk, man. I did not think he was going to fight that way. And the thing with Fury, if he's beat Vladimir Klitschko, he's beat Wilder. If he beats AJ and has all 4 belts, where does that put him in the history of boxing, in your opinion?
Well,
that's huge, man.
That's massive. That's massive. That's absolutely massive. And I have to echo what John Dealey said. Yeah, it's about undisputed for me. It's really about undisputed for me. I don't care about no 1 belt. You get 2 or 3 belts. Then now we're talking. You amass 2 or 3 belts. That takes work, Marla.
Oh, definitely, man. I want to see that fight with AJ. That is the big one. It's got to happen, man. It's just got to happen. And if he wins,
there has to be an incentive for it to happen.
Yep.
And and that's why I say, because of that reason, I say the 2 belt holder, the 3 belt holder, the 4 belt holder trumps the 1 belt holder. Because if you don't have an incentive, if holding 1 belt is good enough, if that's good enough to be recognized as the best, then what's the incentive to go out and get the rest?
Oh, that's right. That's
$250 million in Saudi. That's the incentive.
Yeah, absolutely. So what I'm saying is that I'm not going to give the 1 belt holder the accolade of number 1. I think that's counterproductive. It's not conducive to that 1 belt holder fighting for undisputed. So to have,
I just think those Fury fans are coming out and basking in the glory, and if they want to have their moment in the sun, then that's fine with me. And if they go on and beat AJ, then they deserve it.
Of course, 100%. But they have to do that though. That's what I'm saying.
The thing is, Raphie, though.
Sorry.
Surely the thing is now. Surely you believe that the undisputed fight will happen now.
Well, what I'm saying
is, to a point where I didn't believe it, so I'm quite happy to give Fury the credit for freeing up the divisions twice as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So Klitschko held the divisions hostage and made boxing boring.
That's true.
The next logjam was Deontay Wilder.
Yeah.
So whatever else Tyson Fury's done, he's opened everything up twice.
Yes.
He has, man.
So he can have his credit, and I wanted to come on here today really just to give Tyson credit.
Yeah.
I didn't care about finding out what I already knew about Deontay Wilder. I've been saying it for so long anyway. But Tyson, whether he beats AJ or whether he doesn't, he's the man that's freed everything up, and he's done it on the road as well. Which I think you got to, he had the deck stacked against him twice against Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
Against Deontay Wilder, and he had the deck stacked against him against Klitschko.
Mm-hmm.
And he went up and did it. Yeah, on the road. So
did it on the road.
So whether he's number 1 or whether he's number 2, it doesn't really matter until we've got undisputed, does it? Does it? Because really, they're contenders for the undisputed title.
Well, what I'm saying is it does matter, and I'm saying my point of view is you have to look at the undisputed as number 1 in order to give the incentive to the 1 belt holder to be undisputed. But I hear what you're saying.
Well, what I'm saying is they're the number 1 and 2 contenders for the top title.
Yes.
And then we'll get a new lineage because we've got a genuine number 1 and number 2.
Yes.
And then we've really got the man.
Yeah.
So they're just number 1 and 2 contenders for the actual real title.
Yeah.
Neither of them have got it.
Yeah. And my slant is different. My slant is that you have to look at the undisputed. I look at the undisputed as the unified as the number 1. Therefore, that means a 1 belt holder has to fight. If he wants that accolade, he has to fight the unified. Has to.
Well, I think the unified needs to have the desire to collect the last belt as well.
Also, absolutely, 100%. 100%. The unified, his role is to make a deal with the 1 belt holder. There's two responsibilities, a 2-way responsibility. Responsibility 1, the 1 belt holder has to want to take the number 1 spot. The number 1 spot has to be the unified, and the unified champion has to be making offers to the one belt holder. Therefore, you have a continuous circle of benefit. It benefits the number one, the one belt holder to fight the unified, and it benefits the unified champion to be the undisputed. There has to be an incentive in that circle. There has to be an incentive component.
Well, I think we've got 2 fighters that are on board with that anyway.
That's
like the most important thing. So that's why I don't really care about who's number 1 and number 2, because I think they're going to fight each other.
Yeah. Marla.
Oh, yep. Sorry, mate.
Yeah. So that's what we're talking about. With I think everybody's had a go. Has everybody had a go on that one? Has everybody?
I think we do need the undisputed. I agree. At the moment, you can't say which one of them's better, Fury or AJ. Who's the king? They're 1 and 2. They're the top 2 guys, and we've got to get them in to find out who's number 1. No doubt, man.
They have to fight.
Yep, they have to, man.
They have to fight. There can't be any messing around, any ambiguity. Oh, it's okay just to have 1 belt. That's fine. That's all good. No, it's okay to have 3 or 4 belt. No, we have to have the aim, the goal, the clear aim, ambition, desire to get that number, to get that proper number 1, to find out who is the emperor. Who's the emperor? Who is the emperor? And I had a brilliant picture which I should have pulled up, but I can't look for it now. I don't know what else. What haven't we covered? What have we not covered? What aspect? What angle? Have we said what Deontay Wilder does now? What's Deontay? Okay, that's the one. Deontay Wilder's next step. I'm going to go over to Ty Trips. What's Deontay Wilder's next step? Once he gets, what does he need to do?
Well, take his ass back to the gym.
Yeah.
He needs to take his ass back to the gym to get on his footwork and all that. But apparently, so he's
which gym? Which gym? You got to stay with people as does Deontay Wilder need to change his training arrangements. And what's his next step?
Well, I believe that he does need to change his training range, his training up. That definitely has to happen because, like I say, he can't go in with the same plan again and what's good and we'll see the same result. You know what I mean? I mean, if he truly wants to get this his belt back and all that, then basically he needs to change. He needs to change up, whether that's with a new trainer, I don't know, but you know, I mean, he's got a lot of thinking to do. But apparently, so is it been confirmed that now he's going back for the rematch? For the third fight?
People are saying he's going for the trilogy. I haven't seen anything concrete, but that's the word. That's the word.
Well, you know what I mean. He needs to. If he doesn't, then he'll probably just go out for some low opposition fights. Well, I would say low opposition. You know, someone in the top 20. But I really can't see I can't see him doing much on the rematch. I really can't. I mean,
you could knock him out.
You could knock him out, yeah. But like you say, when we were speaking about Undisputed earlier, if he does knock him out and gets the belt back, do you really see Undisputed happening in the next year or 2?
It's not gonna happen at all. He's never gonna go for Undisputed. He's never gonna, because we know why. We've seen it. He don't have fundamentals. The man ain't got the basic fundamentals. And he thought the only reason he fought Fury was because he thought Fury was Mr. Featherhands. Yeah,
precisely. Exactly. Like I say, too easy. Goes for the easy fights, as well as the little small amount of money. I don't know, 1 million here. You know, what I mean, the 2 million.
Yeah, he's elevated.
All that. You know what I mean? He's never been on the level of AJ making money. So, like I say, what he needs to do next, if he does come back or so, I really do think that he needs to sort out his footwork, his leg work and all that.
His legs.
Yeah,
the heavy legs because of the Power Rangers outfit. James, noodle legs. Where's James gone? Is James? Oh, James still here, but he's muted.
Oh, wait. Hello, what's happening?
How you doing, mate?
I think Noodle Legs should get back in the gym. Don't change a thing. It's the same gym. Don't change a thing.
Yeah.
And he should go back to thinking he's the god. He should go back in there with his little one trick. Try again. Try again. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. He's had his payday. He's had his day. Then I think he should turn his back, retire, live in the hills of Alabama. And that's
he wants to be. He wants to Hollywood. He wants to go to Hollywood. He said he wants to be an actor.
Maybe he could be in like a Rocky film or something like that. Sylvester Stallone can beat him up. Rocky at 75 can have it on.
Who else is on? John D. Lee. Where do we go from here? Where does Deontay Wilder go from here? Does he change? Which gym does he go to? His gym? Does he change gyms? And what does he do?
What he should do is try and poach Sugar Hill and get as far away from J. Diaz as he can.
Yeah.
Whether that's going to happen or not, I sincerely doubt. I think he's going to stay with J. Diaz.
Yeah.
I think they're going to sack Mark Breland.
Yep.
Which is the absolute worst move they could do.
Terrible.
I mean, doing what AJ did, there's nothing wrong with that. If you're really tied into your head trainer and you bring in different people to teach different things, like AJ did in the last fight, that's fine. If you want to go that way, that's no issue because you're going to learn. There's more than one way to do it. Sugar Hill, that's the gym you should go to.
Sugar Hill Gang. Yeah.
I don't think he will, though. No. I think he'll stay with J. Diaz. I think he'll try and get fitter. I think he'll probably try and put on even more weight.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to find out about the testing before the fight.
Yeah,
I know that they've done a post-fight test, but I mean, that's you can take care and get it to clear system before the day of the fight.
Yeah.
I've not heard anything about testing during the fight.
I know about the pre-fight.
Yeah, and they both had significant increase in their weight without putting on much fat.
Yeah. It's
I mean, I haven't got any proof of anything.
No, it's interesting, but we're being positive today. We're being positive today.
I'm pointing the finger more at Wilder than I'm at Fury with that, anyway.
Yeah. Well, you would have to point the finger at Fury because he's got form for it.
Yeah, he has got form for it, but I've seen a really few interesting videos about Deontay Wilder and how he was putting weight on and getting bigger right up until he signed up to the clean boxing program. And then all of that weight melted off him, which is an indication of steroid use.
Yeah, something happened.
Yeah, something changed and he went all the way down to 208 pounds.
Something changed.
And then for the last two fights, we've not heard anything about testing and his weight's been going steadily back up again. So I haven't got any proof. And I'm not necessarily pointing the finger at Fury because I actually think the reason he's not talking to Peter Fury is because Peter was the one that had him on Nandrolo. And like Tyson can carry 273 pounds and train.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I mean, it's not beyond the realms of possibility, but we've kind of seen with Wilder that he struggles to keep weight on him. That's why I'm questioning it. But I think that's what they'll do. They'll fill him full of gear. He'll start skipping again and talking about how he's going back to basics, which will just mean he actually turns up and trains because I think Wilder just has a tremendously high metabolism. So he doesn't get fat. Yeah. He's not dedicated to training. He constantly moans about his training. He doesn't enjoy it. I just think it's going to be messy. Yeah. But if he was serious, he would do what Lennox Lewis did when he got knocked out. He went to Emmanuel Stewart to sort it out. Yeah. So if he was serious, he should go to Sugar Hill. But it won't happen. He
should. But I think the reason Deontay Wilder doesn't move around too much and keeps his circle tight is because it's almost like anybody watched the film Limited or Limitless?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So that's like it's like a tight circle. You know the secret, and I think the secret is he's pretty crap, and you know he doesn't want to float around and be unprotected. I think he's protected in that gym. They keep him. He's protected everywhere, isn't he? He's protected in the gym. The WBC were protecting him. It's very protected, so he's got a kind of circle. He's in the center of a protective circle. probably have stipulations when they're training. You can do this, you can't do that. I don't know. I haven't been there. I'm merely speculating. Marla, what next? What next for?
I suppose he could go and get another trainer, but he has to be prepared to listen to them. He has to be prepared to admit his flaws and then work on them. And as I said earlier, I don't know what he can do to develop an inside game at this point. It's a bit late in the piece, but he can certainly tighten up his defense, because his defense got him in a lot of trouble in that fight. And if he can tighten that up, it won't be so easy for Fury to touch him up, and he might be able to keep himself fresh enough to land that right hand at some point during the fight. So I think his defense is the biggest problem. Yeah. But I think he's going to get smashed over by Fury, and honestly, and if they fight again, I just don't think he can fix what he needs to fix quick enough.
He can't fix what he needs to fix quick enough. So I think, what am I saying? Vincent Grant, I see you, my friend, but the show's coming to an end. So drop in on Wednesday. Drop in on Wednesday, Vincent. Thanks a lot. Okay, so my position on Fury, Wilder, where he goes next. One, he should change training arrangements. It's late in the day, yes, I know, but still, if you're gonna stay in the game, then you gotta do everything you can to optimize your chances. So that's what he should do. Fight wise, I do think he will take the trilogy. He believes in himself. He believes in his knockout power. He's always coming in with some excuse of an injury, but maybe he always is injured. Maybe that's the reality. Maybe the reality is that the Wilder is always injured. And maybe the reality is that he knows that he couldn't perform to his best. Therefore, he believes to himself on that occasion. Therefore, he believes that next time around, when I've got a different injury, I'm going to perform better. But this one was just too much. Maybe that's his thinking. Maybe that's what makes him confident, if he is confident. If he is confident that he beats Fury, then maybe that's the key behind it. Maybe there was something wrong with him, and he feels if that wasn't wrong, then I'll get him next time. Do I think that Fury or Wilder gets Fury next time? No. I think Fury most likely takes him out even sooner, with more confidence. Can Fury get knocked out that next time around? Yes, he absolutely can. But I think Fury takes him again. I think Fury takes him again. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of the show. It's been a nice one. How long we've been on? Yeah, 2 hours, 50 minutes. I like to keep it around the 2 hour mark, 2.5 hour mark. That's nice and tight, but this one has been nice and tight. It's been a consistent flow. We've talked about all things Tyson, Fury, Deontay, Wilder 2. It was an enthralling fight. All props, all credit goes to Tyson Fury for fighting the best he ever has. I think it meant a hell of a lot to him. Where's that thing? Where's that thing that I saw up earlier? I think it was in a video. I did a video on it. So full props, full credit goes to Tyson Fury. It's been an absolute. It's brought all the belts back to the UK. Only a small island, but look at the influence in the game, the heavyweight game right about now. It's incredible. Look how big America is. Look how small the UK is. What the hell is going on? And my US guys, where were you? Where have you been? Where are you today? Where are you today, my regular US guys? What the hell is going on? Where are you? Where were you?
30.
What are you saying, Tyson? Tyson Fury's got something to say. Wants to say something to all of us. He's got a message. that is specifically recorded for Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio, so it's very personal to you. You make this bigger? Let's make it bigger so you can hear Tyson Fury's message.
Times in a row I backed it up. People always write me off. They look at me fat belly, they look at me bald head, and they think, oh, you know what, he can't fight, he can't punch, he can't box, he's clumsy. You know, I toppled the second longest reigning champion in history, Vladimir Klitschko in Germany. You know, bums don't do that. Bums don't do that. I had me mental problems, I had me issues. I was out the ring for nearly 3 years. I came back and I beat him last time on 50%. I said this time, I said, you're not fighting that same old man that was out the ring for 3 years. I said, you're fighting a real Gypsy King this time. He fought the best Tyson Fury. We both fought the best of our primes. I'm 31 years old in the prime of my life, and so was Deontay Wilder. And he got what I told him he was going to get knocked out.
Boom, boom, boom. And I just realized you probably couldn't hear a damn word of that. That's not good enough. I expect better.
30 times in a row I backed it up. People always write me off. They look at me fat belly, they look at me bald head, and they think, oh, you know what, he can't fight, he can't punch, he can't box, he's clumsy. You know, I toppled the second longest reigning champion in history, Vladimir Klitschko in Germany. You know, bums don't do that. Bums don't do that. I had me mental problems, I had me issues. I was out the ring for nearly 3 years. I came back and I beat him last time on 50%. I said this time, I said, you're not fighting that same old man that was out the ring for 3 years. I said, you're fighting a real Gypsy King this time. He fought the best Tyson Fury. We both fought the best of our primes. I'm 31 years old in the prime of my life, and so was Deontay Wilder. And he got what I told him he was going to get knocked out.
Boom, boom, boom. Hail King Fury. Hail King Fury. That's the end of the show. We're going to go around and have everyone. Damn, it sounds so quiet without the music. But is anybody there? Have everyone. Who's left? 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So let's start off with Ty Trips. Your final words, Ty Trips.
Well, altogether it was a good fight. I'm happy that Fury won him. He's exposed the actual bum, the bum killer, sorry. So all props to Fury, and hopefully now we're going to get the an undisputed, whether it be this year or next. The future's looking bright, you know what I mean, for the heavyweight division, a lot more brighter than what it was. Yeah. So it's a blessing, because even if Fury doesn't take the rematch, I mean, you still got, which we haven't mentioned that much, Dillian White. I mean, and he's still #1 contender for the WBC.
Yeah, Dillian White. Where does Dillian White fit in? Because he's not mandatory any. Well, he's mandatory, isn't he? He's mandatory.
Mandatory. The mandatory is not due till Feb next year. That's the problem.
2021.
Eddie Hearn went on YouTube today and did quite a long interview about it.
Yeah.
Okay. But what he has said is, well, from Dillian's point of view, if you think about it, you should be mandatory for the undisputed title, particularly if the rematch is in the summer.
Yeah,
there is a chance that they squeeze in the undisputed in December, and then you've got 2 Mandos for it next year.
Yeah,
fair enough.
So I think that's what will happen.
What's going to happen?
Well, just the Cam man will keep fighting people,
yeah,
and it'll be mandatory for the undisputed title,
yeah,
or a piece of it.
Yeah.
So he'll get to fight for the undisputed title next year.
Okay. So he's mandatory. He's mandatory. So even though Wilder's lost, it doesn't affect his mandatory position for 2021, February 2021. So it's still mandatory. So yeah, that's the answer to the Dillian White question.
Sorted.
James.
Yeah.
James. Yeah.
So it's a
final words, my friend.
So it's a good day, but at the same time, we have to endure another fight of this rubbish. We don't see undisputed yet. No, we have to endure another fight.
I get you.
Yeah. Because realistically, the same thing's everyone's saying, "Oh, we're just going to see the same thing again." So I don't really want to see the same thing again. I want to see something different.
Yeah.
I want to see just Dillian White, you know, anyone else. Just not Wilder again. See Wilder walk away.
See Wilder again this time with this scenario because it ain't going to be boring. After what happened last time, it ain't going to be boring, mate.
It'd be interesting though if Wilder lost again to Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
But then who would Wilder fight after that though? It'd be interesting to see if Wilder would come back and let's say he did fight a Dillian White or Anthony Joshua, anybody like that. He's still got some
fights. He's still got some interesting matchups. I mean, the Joshua fight, if he lost again, I mean, Joshua's not gonna fight Wilder coming off 2 losses. If he gets a loss and gets 2 wins, I think Joshua will fight him. But I think the public are still intrigued. If he gets washed next time around, if he gets knocked out quicker than he got knocked out this time, then it's a question mark. Then he's just washed. People just say he's washed, and that kills the Joshua fight for me. If he gets washed quicker the next time than he did this time, then he's pretty much washed up, unless he comes back and has 2 impressive fights. But if he gets beat up by Tyson Fury, everybody's seeing the blueprint. I think heavyweights are already lining up for him because we thought what we saw was the truth. We thought he had really bad fundamentals, which would be exposed when he fought a guy who stepped to him, like a Dillian White would step to him, like an Anthony Joshua would step to him. The thing is, he never thought Tyson Fury would step to him. So he got exposed by someone using a non-typical style. That is not Tyson Fury's typical style. If he thought for a second, if that was Tyson Fury's style, as big as he is, Wilder wouldn't have wanted to fight him.
I think Wilder's head has got to be gone now as well. Yeah, the rematch.
He might be.
His head's got to be gone.
His head might be gone. That's the big question now. That's
Mentally,
the big question now.
He broke.
Where's his head? Where is he? Is he broken? I don't think he's broke though, because I think he's got so much. And also remember, in his head, he'll rationalize that Mark Breland, who he believes now is a traitor, he'll be saying to himself, Mark Breland, the traitor. You're working for Eddie. We had to get him up out of here. I heard it through the grapevine that Eddie was cutting Mark Breland checks. He infiltrated the family structure, and for that, I will never forgive him.
When did you get that recording, Raphie?
That's we got somebody on the inside, me and Eddie.
Should have been stopped though.
We got somebody inside the camp, but I don't know if he'll be there for much longer. What's happened? Who hasn't had a go? Everybody's had a go. So listen, people. Dillian White is still mandatory for 2021, February 2021. Tyson Fury is the new WBC king. He also, I think, is only the second heavyweight to win the ring belt twice. So credit and props due. Deontay Wilder, Mark Breland looks like he's going to get thrown under the bus. Remember who broke that to you first? I don't know anybody who made a video saying that before me, and for certain, 100% certain, nobody made a video talking about what's his name, Shelly Finkel, berating, scolding
Poor Finkel,
berating Mark Breland on the ring apron. But then we also heard, in the interest of clarity and fairness, we also heard that there was an agreement there was an agreement. Jump on next time, Vincent. We're at the end of the show, bro. Thanks for calling in, though. There was an agreement. We heard there's an agreement within the camp that no trainer can throw in the towel. So if that was the agreement, then if that's the agreement, that's the agreement. If that's what you agree to, that's what you agree to. Mark Breland was still right to throw it in, but if it is true, and I suspect it is, that sounds like Wilder's mentality. If it is true that there was an agreement not to throw in the towel, then that, then it's tricky. It's the water is muddy. The water.
But Raphie, how can a trainer ever agree to that in the first
You can't
place?
ethically. You can't ethically agree to that.
But how can he train his fighter if his fighter's telling him what to do as well?
Mm-hmm. But that's
exactly. There's no paperwork or anything like he signed saying that you must sign this so that I can't so you can't throw in the towel.
Yeah, well there you go. There ain't no paperwork on that. You ain't signing no paperwork on that. It ain't ethical. It ain't ethical. And so ultimately Mark Breland did the right thing. But maybe you, as a trainer, you have to say, listen, I can't abide by that rule. But
it's just because Deontay talks so much rubbish. I don't believe him. They're just using it as an excuse.
That's true, though. He does.
And to scapegoat him, probably Deontay Wilder will convince himself that it's true.
Oh yeah.
Because I think that's Deontay Wilder. I think he believes that no one's tried to unify with him. He was going out saying it this week, wasn't he?
I do believe that he believes his own lies. I do believe he's one of them people who will say something, speak it, believe it, receive it. If he says it, then he believes it. Whether it's true or not is secondary, third, tertiary, irrelevant. I believe he's a man who is exceptional in the field of self-deception. Absolutely exceptional. I think I've gone around the table. I think everybody has said their good night. Good to see John Dealey making a special guest appearance on this special occasion.
I might have to cancel training in the morning.
I knew. I was thinking about that. But I knew you had to make an appearance at this time for the special occasion. What's happened? All the belts back in the UK. It is absolutely incredible. Just a small island, but in the field of sports, we do punch above our weight. Yeah, it looks like they may have fired Mark Breland, but I've already explained if they had the agreement, then they had that agreement, and whether it's not ethical, but Mark did the right thing in throwing in the towel, looking after the safety of his fighters. Special guest appearance from John Dealey. Good to see him on this special occasion. I was expecting him for this special occasion. What we got else? We got Ty Trips, another fella from Birmingham. First time on. Welcome. Hello and welcome.
Cheers, bro. Thanks for having me on those steps still, mate. Much appreciated still. You're doing good. Keep up the good work, mate.
Much appreciated. Thank you for the kind words. The channel has reached its first birthday. We're going to celebrate that on Wednesday. Happy birthday to Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio. It's about 1 year and 3 weeks. I thought it was the end of February and I did the first video. Turns out it was the beginning of February. I was trying to get it bang on 52 weeks, but it doesn't matter. We've reached a milestone and another milestone. We've reached a couple of milestones. I'm only talking about the age milestone, but we've reached 2 milestones within this 1 week. So that's happy birthday to Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio. Without the supporters, this would not be possible. If nobody watched, if nobody was interested, then the channel wouldn't have reached its first birthday. It's made it out of its infancy, going into another stage now, alive and kicking. I've learned a hell of a lot along the way within that 12-month period. It's been a fascinating infancy, and looking to take Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio, looking to make it bigger and stronger, but not just floppy big. We're talking about functionally big. We're not looking for no, what do you call them? What do they call it in America? We're not looking for candy muscles. We're working for functional muscle, a functional organism. Yeah, self-sustaining organism. And so my thanks and appreciation goes out to everybody who jumps on and everybody who populates the area, populates and contributes by populating. And yeah, Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio is populating. It's growing at a nice, steady, organic pace. And for that, I have you guys in the chat to thank, as you go from the chat and graduate and jump over. Some of you jump over onto the panel, and some of you jump over and follow me on Twitter. And that's how the thing grows. Yeah, so it's much thanks to everybody. Much thanks to John D. Lee. Much thanks to Ty Trips. And of course, James, who appears out of nowhere like a vampire bat. Mr. James. Much appreciation goes out to him. Much appreciation goes out to everybody. It's the Philip Carl Roberts. It's the Red Glove Militant. It's the Aaron Mason. It's the Cal L. It's the BH. It's the where are we going? We're scrolling up. It's the Easy Does It. It is the Red Glove Militant, the Marla. Thank you, Marla. Marla jumped on. It's the God of War. It's the Joe 56984. It's the Rue. It's the Wild Soul. It's the Ant. Who else we got? And many Cristiano Wu. And many, many more. It's Boxing Talk with Raphie 78, or is it 79? It's one or the two. What is it? Boxing Talk with Raphie. I think it's 78, 79, whatever. It's saluting the accomplishments and the achievements of Tyson Fury. Defeating the guy who's been holding up the belt at the WBC. Don't want to unify, just want to hug it and chat a lot of ish. But now he's gone. And we celebrate Tyson Fury. And the only thing left for me to say is blessed.